Yo, y'all hearing me? Are we live? Yes, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, we
we are
are.
live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Jedi Mike 7, a movie news show. And today we're going to go over, two things. We'll go over Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, but also Moon Knight. We're going to get into that later in a second. Jay King, how you doing?
I am doing all good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. First, just want to acknowledge people in the chat here. Shout out to Trash Can Wave. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. My buddy, man, we talked to you a long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is gonna
I
be
know.
this is gonna be a very very big discussion. Shout out to my man Tommy B in the building. Shout out to Tommy B. Um, Shout out to my small group leader and my friend Mr. Marcus Sherritt up in the building, man. Miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to my big sis Brittany B. Good y'all. Shout out to you. Good to see you. Shout out to Rhea. Yes, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. But yeah, I know more people gonna be coming in into this live in a second. Um, and the discussion is gonna be, I think, gonna be very heated. Because I have my notepad ready. I have been on many different panels. I have my notes right here. And I don't know how this discussion is gonna go. I've talked to this gentleman. I was sitting next to this gentleman. Right.
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
we saw
let me get the close up
we
here.
saw
Let me get the
yeah,
close up here,
we saw it the
ladies and
same
gentlemen.
day,
Ladies and
same
gentlemen.
place.
Ladies and gentlemen. I have sat next to this individual when I watched this film. When the movie concluded, I was in silence. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, sir?
No, you're not wrong. You were definitely in silence. You were pretty much not even sure how to feel.
I know how to feel. So guess what I did? I saw it again. I saw it again.
Same, same
And
here.
I
I saw it
I
as
saw it
well.
again. Shout out to my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. We ran out the whole theater, or at least room theater, to go see Doctor Strange on Friday. So yeah, I saw it again. I called one of my good friends, Joshua Jones, my brother. Shout out to you if you're watching the pre-recording. Me and him got in a heated argument about my feelings about a particular character in this film. And you guys might agree or disagree. And that's why I'm gonna bring you guys on the panel as we discuss this. But I'm gonna let Jay King bring him in for a second. But also before I do that, shout out to Blooming Ebony. Shout out to Blooming Ebony in the chat. Good to see you. But yeah, all right, y'all. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. So here we are. Here we're gonna talk about Doctor Strange. Well, I think we can talk about Moon Knight for a little bit. If you want to do that later, or we just want to get heat into Doctor Strange because I'm.
Well, I think the big thing obviously is Doctor Strange. So let's get Moon Knight out of the way. We talked about it
Okay, let's get
before,
on
but
Moon
that was
Knight.
like, yeah, we talked about it like right before the finale had hit. So I guess really to talk about it would be like the last two episodes, episode 5 and episode 6, that we would really, have to talk about and discuss, and really this whole series as a whole, to be honest. Yeah.
Go ahead, man. So, what were your
Um,
thoughts on the finale? Go ahead.
Oh, the finale, I really enjoyed it. I think, like, out of again, I'll get my full thoughts about the whole series in a bit, but finale I thought was pretty solid. I thought that they did a pretty good job with it. The fight choreography, the switching back between and again, spoilers, guys, for both things. For Mr. Knight and Moon Knight was awesome. Just seeing the two in sync after spending most of this whole series somewhat hating each other, and then growing to accept and love one another to basically fight as the Moon Knight that we get you. I saw that. To fight as the Moon Knight that we needed it to be. Also, the
Mm-hmm.
introduction of Layla as the Scarlet Scarab. That potentially is the character that she is a new version of, which I am definitely down for. The suit was incredible, and I hope that sticks with her. That she stays Tawedit's, avatar, in season 2. Speaking of which, again, like this finale left us with a lot of mysteries as well. Like there was so much action, great, stunt choreography between Moon Knight, Layla, and Arthur Harrow, and then a giant kaiju battle with Amit and Khonshu, leaving us with a lot of mysteries. Like I mean, we finally met the third personality, Jake, at the end, but we still don't know that much about him. I mean, we know a little bit, other than
Yeah,
he's
here.
the more violent one, and Khonshu is going to be using him since
Mhm.
Mark and Steven are like, yeah, no, we're done, but for now at least. So there's that. There's the question of, well, what the heck is going to happen with the rest of the Egyptian gods? Are they going to like stay dead? Are the rest that were in Ushabti going to get free? Also, where exactly, like, what exactly happened with Layla at the end? Because literally she was at the final battle, and then we skipped to the mind psych ward, and then back to where we started in the beginning of the season. And then after that, that's it, except for the post credit scene. So it's like there's a lot that they've left us on, and definitely a lot for a season two. I think out of all of them, like this was probably one of the ones that people want a season two of the most outside of Loki and What If. Like people want a
Mhm.
season two of this the most probably, and I'm definitely down for season two. I don't know when they'll do it. I don't know if the reception is going to make them do it like end of this year start filming, or beginning of next year start filming, or something like that, and we get this like late 2023 or 20 or early 2024. I don't know, but I'm ready for more Moon Knight. And last thing I have to say, last thing I have to say,
No, sorry, no. Blooming Ebony is reading my no. No, she's anyway. I'm just seeing what she posted in the
um,
comment. But go ahead.
but okay.
And
Oh my god.
also shout out to Running Unchained in the comments, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can see it. I can see that to my side as well. But the thing that I have to say about this whole series is just how very well done, like they portrayed dissociative identity disorder. Like you see other medias that
uh-huh.
have tackled it, like Split, for example, that have tackled it. I think this handled it with a lot of love and care, looking at just exactly what it all the things that go into dissociative identity disorder, the type of things like, the child, personalities, the protector personalities, more the psychopath personalities and things like that. And you could
Right.
definitely discern that, like, oh, Steven's definitely more the protector, especially after episode 5, we finally see the origin of Mark, the origin of his DID, the death of his brother, how he became Moon Knight, and all that, which, by the way, was one of the most heart wrenching episodes. Like that, like
Yeah, no, it
you can't
absolutely
sit
was.
through
It was
that.
it was
You
by
can't
far,
sit
I would
through that
say
without tearing
episode
up.
5 of this series was by far one of the best of Marvel Disney Plus shows they have done.
Hmm.
They went in a neglect of child abuse, but also going through mental illness, him having a very abusive mother, dealing with the loss
Hmm.
of their of his younger brother, and she was being very abusive towards him. And for that, from Marvel to actually take that leap, I commend them for that. Um, um, uh, but yeah, I felt like honestly, it was really was the way they orchestrated, in terms of his storyline as a character, in terms of unknown character we don't know. I think they did a really good job. Um, but yeah, but like I will say this though for this, 'cause I really didn't want to like briefly go over those topics as the overall season. Was the season overall good? And we felt satisfied. And for me, I felt I did. I don't think that personally that moving forward, whether I don't know the show get season two or anything like that, but I personally don't understand the direction of the show what they might be going to, especially like we got other characters. We got Blade, we got we got Black Knight from John or the Kit Harington from the Eternals. We got a
Hmm.
Werewolf by Night. That's a project that's coming out soon from Disney that possibly might involve Blade or Moon Knight because that was his also first appearance in the comics. So hopefully we'll see what we can get context over this. I don't think this show was a failure in my opinion. I do believe that they have potential, especially Oscar Isaac as his performance basically sell the whole thing. But
Hmm.
I think moving forward, what they can do is now that it's been over reports that the directors, they over time have said have both said that um, have both said that they prevented actually having big Marvel cameos in this series, just
Yeah, to
because
let
I
it
think that
stand out as as its own thing more than having to worry about connections.
right. Yeah. So, but before we conclude this topic here, then we get into the big main event. I want to bring out a good content creator, a good friend of mine, who's also on another review we did on Team JVS. Make sure you guys subscribe to Team JVS. We did a spoiler discussion the other day, a few days ago. Thank you, Team JVS, for allowing me to be on the show. But also, I
Yeah,
had a Go ahead.
I saw you guys on there. I would have been there, but I was having this
Akasan.
discussion. Yeah, which I saw Ronan in the comments there as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
bring up Mr. Ronan Unchained. How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Hello,
You're muted.
you there, mate?
You there? You're not there. Like, well, at least you're there. We just can't see you. I know it's you. Um,
Send us a smoke screen. Oh, okay.
no. I just put him back to hope he gets Mike situated though. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah. But honestly though, I want to let you guys know in the comments. Let me guys know what you thought about Moon Knight. If you didn't, I know it's not. I know for a fact it was not everybody's cup of tea. I literally got off another stream previously to Ego. Everybody gets one's a podcast. Make sure you guys go subscribe to them. We were talking about a bit. They really did not like Moon Knight at all. At least the series how it went. So yeah. So it's a heated discussion about it's not all cookie clear though, um but yeah,
I mean,
though
I knew there'd be some people that probably would have maybe a gripe, but seriously?
hmm
Hmm.
yeah, no, but before I just want to see, yeah, okay, I think yeah, Ronan's in the back. He just need to get his mic situated. But I'm gonna go
Mhm.
address the comments right now for a bit, and then we're gonna get into the main event. And I'm liking appreciate you guys in the comments, having this discussion about this. Thank you guys for your engagement. Um, but yeah, Trash Can Wave, he was saying Blue Man Many Facts, too many loose ends. The after credit scenes are weak, and they just threw things in to expand on like the girl, two moms, all just a bunch of woke nonsense. Ooh.
Oh, trash can,
Oh,
trash can,
okay. Here we
trash
go.
can.
He is hitting with the gloves off. Okay. All right. Um, yeah,
Do I have
my
to use
sis.
this? Do I have to get my sling ring? Do I have to
No,
use this
okay,
right
no,
now?
my sis, Brittany Beach said, I like Doctor Strange. I was just happy about all the other movie references uh, I made up in the movie with my sister, especially when they watched where went into lock like National Treasure. Like, yeah, no, let's see. Blue Memory said, right, they Disney-fied Doctor Strange. Ooh. Um, they did it to Star Wars.
I'm
Facts.
getting my sling. I'm getting my sling
Facts.
ring. I'm
Facts.
getting my sling ring.
But I thought Doctor Strange was too strong of a character to ruin. I was wrong. God damn.
Okay, that's it. Can we move to Doctor Strange now,
Nah,
please?
she's killing it. Bombs dropping. Bombs dropping.
We
Um,
switching to Doctor Strange right now.
oh no, okay. Before we get that, I think I'm gonna bring Ronan back in. All right.
Okay, let's see if it's working out.
Yo.
There you
There he
go.
is.
There you go.
Oh man. Damn. Come on, Bluetooth. It's 2022 now. You should be working better than that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, fellas. But
It's all right. It's all right.
what the heck what happened in the past few seconds? It's just like artillery fire just going back and forth over Doctor
Mhm.
Strange. Really? After this movie, this is the movie that has everyone already worried about Feige and team be like, I don't know about after Endgame. I don't know.
So
I don't know what's the
we're talking about
plan.
Moon Knight. We're gonna talk about Moon Knight,
Oh, Moon
right?
Knight.
Yeah, but
First, then we're gonna get into it.
let's hear your
What were your
opinions
thoughts on
about
Moon
it, then
Knight
we'll get to
finale?
Doctor Strange.
Moon Knight finale, I really liked it. To me, the best finale they've put out yet thus far, that is blending of good the theme and what Marvel does, is to me WandaVision. To me,
Mm,
that finale, like it brought up the action, it brought up philosophy, and it tied it up perfectly, in my opinion. Moon Knight, what I'll give it credit to, I did not expect to have a kaiju fight in these MCU shows or movies, nonetheless. I like Layla. Layla, my God, her superpowers. I need, I need, I need to meet that lady and be like, "You are a goddess." I need that Funko Pop.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I need the whole shebang,
I have
man.
an issue calling people gods. Shout out to Nathan Daly.
Uh,
Come
but
on, man! It's a
Ronan,
show about gods and moons. Like,
Ronan,
that's fair game.
I understand though. I have the same feelings as well. I'm gonna be
And
honest.
what I will say is that sure, some of it may feel too fast paced in terms of concluding where Mark lands in terms of killing an Egyptian god or not. And uh, to me, the whole stuff between Mark and Steven was the goal. That was the heart of it. And
Mhm.
what Layla brought in was pure new vibe into the show and what's to come. And I gotta say, I did was like I was what the WTF the minute the last shot of the episode, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're gonna end it like this. And one side of me was like, this is ballsy, and I appreciate this in this day and age. And then part of me
Mm-hmm.
was like, we gotta get something. Just give us something. I know there's no season 2 confirmed yet. I know Oscar Isaac was very picky about signing with the MCU. Give us something to be like, all right, it wasn't just all in our head as well. And then comes in the end credit scene, and hoy te toca perder. Oh, I love, meeting my friend Jake Lockley. And here's the thing I tell people: if you love these shows and these movies or like them, even if that's the extent, do yourself a favor, revisit the past. And what I mean by that is revisit the stuff that inspired this. So for me, go read the Warren Ellis, Declan Shelby run of Moon Knight. There's literally
Yes.
imagery that are in these episodes that are right out of that book and all the
Mm-hmm.
other Moon Knight, comics and whatnot. And do yourself that favor. And I liked that there was different pacing and different vibes throughout the episodes. Episode 4 was the Indiana Jones episode. Episode 5 was the dark, deep, mind bending, if you will, heartbreaking episode. And 6 was how this was concluding. It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short, in my opinion. And if anything, whether you like it or not, I think at least people want to see more of Oscar Isaac as both Mark, Steven, and Jake.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely agree.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. But I'm gonna bring a good friend of mine in, Mr. Marcus, in the building. How you doing, man?
What's
Hey.
up? What's up? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh, you changed your
Eh,
profile.
It's my other profile pic, so that way when they get a close up, they know the Sith awaits.
Hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah. Did you question?
Yeah.
Did you see Moon Knight?
I seen a few episodes here and there, and I seen like the ones for the later clips, other people's reactions to the later episodes. So I'm basically caught up. Um, but other than that, yeah, yeah,
Did you have
pretty
any
dope.
thoughts on it? Did you liked it?
It's for me. It's from what I've gotten from either the cartoons and the comics that I've seen his portrayal. I loved it. From the show, it was good. I wouldn't say great, but it was good. It's in my opinion. Don't shoot
Got
me.
you. No. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts on Moon Knight, the finale, in the comment section down below, um, and let us know your thoughts. So yeah,
Yes,
guys.
Brittany B. That Marcus from last night.
Uh-oh. I think we got a problem.
No, I see. No, the moderators probably you could take it out. Got it. Yeah,
Uh,
I know we got bots in here. Moderators, if you can help
uh-huh.
out, appreciate it. Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Trash Can Wave. See.
You might have a weird opinion, but at least you got them out of here.
No. No. I appreciate it though. But I'm gonna go into the main event for the night. And I'm telling you, this is gonna get heated. I'm gonna put the link at midway through the conversation about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I'm gonna go off. I just want to make sure has everybody seen the film?
You know I
Yep.
have.
Yeah.
We were there in
yes.
the same place.
Yes.
What
Okay.
up, Tommy?
So yeah. So I'm gonna go have Ronan go over his thoughts on Doctor Strange first, and I'm going Marcus, then Jay King, then me. Now I know more people can probably come up, but yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so for Doctor Strange, and like this is funny enough that like Jay King was on Akasan, Jedi was in Team JVS. I was in both. I knew both were happening, and I was trying to be in both back to back. And though the other day was the 4 hours of my life that was pure fun and hectic as hell because people had mixed feelings and whatnot. I come to this mind of I'm planning on seeing it either tomorrow or during this weekend again. That I really, really like this film. It's not perfect, which movie it isn't or whatever may have you, but to me, after Endgame, this is my favorite film that's come out after Endgame. And this is gonna sound a little hypocritical, and I said this to the other streams that, in my opinion, to savor the moment or the vibe of being in the cinema again with the MCU again, after Endgame, there should have been a 5 year gap where there's no movies. I feel that that would have been such a bold holdback on the company, on the studios, being like, we did what we set out to do with the Infinity Saga. We closed the book. Right now, we're going to go under another venue of television until our stories there with longevity. And then when the time comes right, instead of immediately after Endgame, we'll go back to the cinemas. So that's my point on the cinema. But in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I really dig the title. To me, I would have switched it more towards something like Doctor Strange meets the Scarlet Witch, something that sounds like a monster movie. Because if you look at it, it's a little bit of a monster movie. This film, and I feel that we didn't spend too much time in the multiverse. Um, um, I feel that Wanda's journey I liked, but to an extent, I feel it came off maybe a little repetitive after revisiting WandaVision. It's valid. I completely your heart and movies.
I sense an imbalance in this man's opinion, point of view of Marvel. How dare you?
I sent this dude to the Santa duet over a movie. Damn.
Yeah, all film is subjective. All film is subjective.
That's adorable.
No, but it's all love. No, trash can
Give me
win.
the
That's all
B
good.
minus.
To me, the standouts, and I always said this about these movies, that they're extremely lucky that they cast it perfectly. To me, we're talking spoilers or non-spoilers right
It's
now.
spoilers.
John? Okay.
It's spoilers.
Spoilers.
so
man.
You saw the title.
Yeah, you've had your
Mhm.
days. I do not think this is the end of Wanda / the Scarlet Witch. I hope it's not. If it is, what a hell of a way to like just boot a fan favorite character out of the MCU thus far. And as much as I really like this film, I feel that WandaVision for Wanda's side, and from What If for Steven's side, they both collectively those shows did the emotional essence way stronger. There's good moments that I do love in this film that I was like, oh, heartbroken or felt something, but compare that to one What If episode and then 8 episodes or 9 of WandaVision, I spent I cried during those shows. So I didn't shed a tear for this, and also to let anybody else talk, I am disappointed in the marketing for this film. I feel that after Endgame and Infinity War, we should have learned our lesson that if you're bringing in big guns, if you will, you're bringing in something that you know is well beloved and people will be very excited to see, why would you release that in your first or second trailer and then your TV spots start spoiling about things that are to come? I'll say this: I did never ever expected them to. I never expected them to call Anson Mount and be like, "Yo, we're gonna do Black Bolt, right to an extent, but you're not gonna look funky like you did in that damn TV show, which I can't believe I paid money to go see it in IMAX."
Oh wait, hold on. So I just want to make sure before we
you
get to
paid
meat of
money
that,
to see that?
hold on. So no, Ronan, I just want to make sure because like I want us to just give our quick thoughts about it, and then like we're gonna get into the meat about that because that's a whole can of
Okay.
worms we're gonna open. But yeah, no. But I just didn't want to cut you off there. Just want to give you quick thoughts, and then we'll go around, and then we get to the point.
Really dug it. It's not great. Could have been better, but it's not the worst thing the MCU has done, and it's not the worst movie of all time. It's worth watching. It's worth price of admission, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Got you, Marcus. You there?
Oh,
I think you muted.
did America send him to another multiverse?
I think he muted. I think he was.
She probably heard it. She
Okay.
probably heard his opinion and booted him somewhere else.
Oh
No. But go ahead.
Did you guys skip me?
No.
No.
He just finished. I was going to you, and then we'll go to J King.
Okay. Well, right before I go on my little small tangent, sir, what you just said next to me, Ronan, was blasphemy. It was atrocious. Respectfully, from the bottom of my heart, what you should do is get your comics and your Marvel memorabilia and nostalgia, and give it to a kid that will appreciate it. Tell him to watch those 90s cartoons. Get those action figures you have on the desktop, and make sure you give it to the poor. Give it to the homeless, because they will appreciate it more. Respectfully, from the bottom of my heart, you disgust me.
Jesus.
But how
Now,
you really feel?
how I really feel about the show or the movie?
No, the movie.
The movie.
Okay, the movie was great. Now, am I gonna put it past No Way Home? No, I think No Way Home is still better because we still got 20 years of nostalgia. We still got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, on top of the other villains that came in there. But it was a great movie. It was great for horror. It had its moments where, because of certain property rights, they had to change Shuma Gorath to the name of Gargantos. So that was behind the scenes. That was like the business side of it, which I thought was still ridiculous because that you could still see Shuma Gorath in there, just with a different name. And I know that in the comics they have a different creature called Gargantos, which I should have thought is just ridiculous. It's a name. Let them have it. Let them enjoy it. What's the big deal with it? That happened. I would have liked to seen, and I know this was going to maybe trigger some audience members, but in What If, when you saw the demonic Strange fighting, I thought it would have been pretty dope to fight against Scarlet Witch using all the demons that he took inside What If, but instead showing it in the MCU. That would have been me as a director and a cinematographer and sci-fi special effects. I would have done all that stuff. The Zombie Strange was dope. He was probably one of the best things of the whole movie. Defender Strange, obviously, because they used his corpse. That was cool. The Illuminati. All right, this is where things are going to take a turn.
We'll wait till we get I mean, that's a whole section right there.
That's part of the movie.
Go ahead.
No, it's your show. I'll let you run and steer your ship, Captain.
No. It's just things. I'm just like, it's going to. I just want to give you quick thoughts because I know you and I are thinking similar in some ways about this, but I just want to make sure we all have a good pace and give everyone just know where we're at with this film, and then we go grill it, put on a pedestal, roast it, whatever. But Jay King, what are your thoughts?
You skip me. Okay, go for it.
Okay, my thoughts on this. So, I've seen this twice, and I think I definitely needed the second viewing in order to fully grasp how I feel about this movie. Because the first time, like, I was definitely like overjoyed and excited. Like, like Mike, you probably saw it on my face, but I still had a lot of questions and still a lot I was trying to process. After seeing it the second time, I definitely have my opinion when it comes to this film, and my opinion is that I like it. Same thing with Marcus. I wouldn't put it past No Way Home because of just how well that was done, in my opinion.
Blasphemy.
But there's a but. I'm still saying that this film was really great. I love what Sam Raimi and the crew and everybody were able to do with this film, not just within the context of it, but things harboring back to the first Doctor Strange movie. And of course, as we've said, WandaVision and What If, all these things brought together. And something I don't think a lot of people are talking about the most is more of the emotional core of this. I've heard a lot of people have mixed feelings when it comes to the Illuminati and them, getting, you know, basically put in an early grave by Wanda, or the power levels of Strange and Wanda compared to, like, what they could do at some points, but didn't do like the whole part of the film. And of course, some people's opinions on America Chavez and all that. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. But in my opinion, I really liked what they did with this, the emotional core and the visual effects and just how good this movie looked. Like it really felt like a Sam Raimi movie mixed in with the style of the MCU, but blending very well and not feeling like a monstrous, combination of the both. How they handled R Strange, from harping back to something from the first movie, which I'll get to later, and Wanda. Obviously, like I know where some people are like, wait a minute, didn't in WandaVision she like basically got over it? She got over the grief of Vision, but her kids, that was a new wound, and the Darkhold that basically influenced her. So I mean, it's not out of the blue. But again, I love how they handled basically the story of trauma in a way and grief over, what you want to obtain, but in some terms you probably can't. Like, that's just my opinion when it comes to this. It's like, this is not the best, but this is definitely one of my favorites. Just with the emotional core of it, really selling it for me. Though I will also say I really hated how they were just basically giving us stuff away. Like Xavier, I didn't mind, but the TV spots, and I've heard Feige as well was mad about it as well. He's not the person in charge of like the marketing when it comes to this, but I think he definitely needs to have a hand when it comes to this, because if it's enough that you need to show us Captain Carter before we get to this, like I would have been so mad. Like again, I didn't see any of the TV spots, but of course no one would stop talking about it. So of course I found out about it. If that same thing would happen to Black Bolt or Mr. Fantastic, I would have really been upset. But it was just
Shout
fun.
out
But
to
I was
John
so upset
Krasinski.
about it.
All right, I'm about to, guys. I'm about to put. Okay, spoilers. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the Illuminati, Captain Carter,
Spoilers.
Black Bolt, Maria as Captain Marvel, and Mr. Fantastic.
So but yeah, guys. So no. Yeah. So basically, like I said, I was coming with this film, had a lot of expectations about what this film could have been, and obviously, the main thing I always talk about is that I don't want my speculation to become my expectation, right? And I think of that with a lot of fans, what they get, I'm gonna get their feelings hurt. Not only that upset over, but also to a point they put unreal expectations. Like if you were thinking we were gonna go see, Wolverine, seeing
Superior Iron Man,
Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Eric Bana Hulk, all the stuff, like seeing
I dare anybody to talk smack about Eric Bana's Hulk. I dare you. There'll be World War III up in this.
But no. Like if you guys thought that all that stuff was gonna happen, that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic, right? But that being said, my thing I've said in JVS was that what I expected from this film, I expected a good story. But at the same time, for someone that you have this linear storytelling within the MCU with the Disney Plus shows such as WandaVision, Loki, and then we get to this film. Obviously, with the events of the world back in 2020, we had to go on for a pandemic. I believe this is the last film, in my knowledge, is actually the one film that truly got affected with the pandemic. Other than that, all the other films after this have no excuse. But I still think there is like scheduling issues. What I was told, especially characters that were in the film who weren't, but that yet they were also speculated, and they were saying, "Well, we couldn't get this actor to come in because of shooting issues."
Right.
But the whole thing is supposed to be not multiverse, of cameos, Multiverse of Madness, and what the story is implying in terms of the overall Marvel universe. And I'm gonna be real with you. You can say we hyped this movie, but Kevin Feige, you hyped this movie. Obviously, you did your thing as a producer, trying to sell your brand. But when you have this linear storytelling, saying I gotta watch What If, gotta watch WandaVision, gotta watch Loki, and here I'm watching this film. And as someone who reads comics, I'm not saying you have to read all of Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, run Doctor Strange to understand this film. I'm not telling you have to do that. But for someone who isn't that, and someone who does do their homework before watching this film, I can tell you, to anyone who is non-movie Marvel goer, wherever watching the saying, "Oh, I haven't seen WandaVision, I haven't seen all this," I'm telling you right now, you do not have to watch barely most of the content to actually watch this movie, because they barely even mention it, right? They barely even mention it, right? Hell, I give you one thing. Do you one thing better. It felt like even the writer of this film didn't even watch those shows. Well, that's right.
Emotional damage.
I mean, Elizabeth went into film this like 2 weeks after WandaVision, so
no, but still, my thing about this is that after watching this film, I'm like, what was the point? I'm asking my question, not saying it was not a good story, because I had a good time, and Ronan knows this. I had a good time watching this film. It's the point of like, don't do this to me. Where are my keys at?
Oh dear God. Okay, well, while you're getting your keys, I'm gonna actually answer what Trash Can is saying.
Don't do this to me. This is what Marvel was doing. Yo, Illuminati.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Illuminati, y'all.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Wanda. Yo, multiverse. Anything's possible. You got X-Men. You got the Fantastic Four. Y'all ain't ready.
You basically had an Xavier in his yellow chair from the X-Men cartoon, and he was basically doing his mind thing that he does, but he just needed some prune juice. And then you had, freaking what's his face, John Krasinski from The Office coming back, looking all nice and stuff. He made his cool ass entrance. He made a dope entrance, by the way, and then teleported,
He
device.
hologrammed to that motherfucker.
But guess
He's
what?
like,
He looked like an inflatable string man right there when he died. He looked like an inflatable string man, like those guys that are up on the car sales, like the whatever those tube things are. That's what he looked like. And then pop goes the weasel, and then next thing you know, you got Black Bolt looking like his head went like ice cream, like a half bowl of melted ice cream. Disgrace. And then you had what's her face, Britain Carter. Captain Britain said, "Oh, I could do this all day." Bullspit, because guess what? He threw back the freaking shield, and she got sliced in half. Get out of here with that.
Jedi Mike, it's funny that you say that they keep saying watch WandaVision if you really want to like.
Right.
You say that, and it's funny because I hear those sayings of Kevin Feige and the team saying you got to watch the shows. And after coming out of the movie theater, I really
It's for business. It's to sell.
I know, but it's really I really like this movie. I'm thinking about it. And I can't wait to watch it again. But you told me to watch those shows, and out of this movie, those shows did the characters stronger. Compared to this movie, I had fun with this movie, but I mourned with Wanda in her show. I felt grieved with Steven in his one episode of What If, where he lost his heart. So it's just like, I don't know if it was a detriment or something to be like, yo, we kind of did it better in those shows, but we're gonna bring something to this movie and whatnot. And and I think I agree with J King that people should appreciate more just the different vibe and like something as Sam Raimi cinematography, where it's just twirling at something when I'm like, usually we don't get that in the MCU. We don't get that in the MCU, and I appreciated that for after a while. I'm like, all right, it doesn't feel like it looks the same. It doesn't feel like it's shot the same. All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that after 10 years after watching these movies, something fresh came out once in a while out of the MCU.
All I'm saying is I'm tired of this woke feminism liberal BS. We didn't get a post-credit scene.
That's it.
Okay,
Stop. Let me go on my rant for a little bit.
I'm not just thinking the trash can as well.
Listen. I'm tired of this. We need to stop. This needs to stop because we get that piss poor second post-credit scene of Bruce Campbell, which what I think was a homeless man selling some hot dogs and hit rock bottom. We got that. What was that? What was that?
It was a reference to Evil Dead, kind of.
Evil Dead, yeah.
No, I was dead at the moment I saw that because I was disappointed. That's what I was dead about.
I will admit that for the credit scene,
they could have shown Kang the Conqueror. They could have shown Loki too. They could have shown Ant-Man Quantumania. They could have shown something that would have shown a reference to, hey, leading up to the BS.
It's weird because even the first mid-credit scene, I got excited because I know who that was. I knew, and it's weird that I felt that like, all right.
Now, well, first of all, before I let you go in there, I want to explain who was that person, right? For those of you guys don't know in the comics, right? So obviously in this film, what has been expressed, we have a love interest of Doctor Strange. I forgot her name. Christine who's the nurse, right?
But she got married in the first.
She got married to a black man. A black man.
and then also in a reality version of herself basically said, "Yeah, sorry, no, Strange."
Right. That he can't get the box in any universe.
Did you guys catch the other reason why the resemblance between the symbolism between Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell in these movies? Because he was in the original trilogy with Tobey Maguire
for Spider-Man. Yeah, I know. He was supposed to be, Mysterio if they did get a fourth movie. I do know that.
Yeah. So for those you guys. So in the ending of the mid-credit scene, what we see a person pops up and say Doctor Strange. He turns around and he sees this individual here, right? And these official pictures actually finally came out. Charlize Theron, the actress, posted them on her Instagram, so now we can fully get into that.
Playing the character Clea.
Yeah. So the character name is Clea in the comics. The reason why she's really significant to Doctor Strange lore is the fact this is actually his mystical wife by law, in the comics.
By universal law.
because in the comics and even in this film, I guess she's not actually from our universe, so they can't really get married. But they're married through
Mhm.
within the mystical arts or whatever. But anyway, there are love interests in the comics, and that's his Mary Jane, or that's its Lois
Gwen
Lane or
Stacy.
whatever.
And not only that, she is also the niece of Dormammu, of the villain he fought in the first movie.
That's the dimension she was entering to when they
Which was
opened
the
that
dimension
portal.
that she was
the dark
entering to.
dimension.
Right.
So yeah, I found it very because since the first movie, I'm like, wow, there's no hint at Clea at all. Nothing in Infinity War, nothing in Endgame, nothing in Thor Ragnarok, nothing in No Way Home. I'm like, wow, are they never gonna do Clea? And Charlize Theron pops up in the mid credit scene. I'm like, oh my gosh, there she is, and she says, "Hey, you, we gotta go do something. Come on." And she's
Your constant
ready.
incursion, which we
Yeah,
got to talk about that as well.
and it's weird that she never even brought up her name. She's like, not for anybody. I mean, I knew who she was, but like the Joe Schmo who doesn't read the books or know anything should be like, oh, Charlize Theron, what's up with her purple makeup?
Especially the way they did it in the end of this film, like because you find out, you see this picture here, Doctor Strange, he gets his third eye, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
I did not like
as a
that.
result of the dark hold magic.
Which by the way was destroyed in this film, so it's like okay, but yeah,
in every universe.
he gets his third eye, and it seemed to be painful, whatever, at the end, and all of a sudden, we get a mid-credit scene, and all of a sudden he's walking down the street as like nothing happened. Now all of a sudden Clea pops up and going into the thing with the dark dimension right here, right?
Mm-hmm. She's like, you caused an incursion. We need to fix this. Unless you're scared, then he pops out that third eye, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I ain't scared." It's like, wait, weren't you just in pain?
It is,
Right.
the ending, the very last few shots of the movie, and the CG third eye. It's very abrupt, and I was just like,
It's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
It was all right.
It
was all right. It was middle.
The eye was a little rushed. The portal though, that was fine, but the eye was a little rushed.
Yeah, I know a friend of mine got confused because she pulled out like a purple sword, and someone thought Psylocke, and I'm like, no, that's not Psylocke.
No.
But yes, this is thankfully, even though it's a very subtle of like, who's this character, she knows magic. That's the part that I'm like, I'm excited now as a comic book fan and someone who remembered Doctor Strange from his one or few cameos in Spider-Man the animated series. I'm like, all right, we're gonna now there's two mystic art wielders that are bouncing around.
Oh, so Wong is chopped liver? Wong is chopped liver. Okay.
No, he's not chopped liver. He's doing his Sorcerer Supreme duties. On Earth while Strange taking care
exactly. God damn! Like, what the...
like
I'm just saying real quick, J King. But J King, let's be honest, right? They literally are doing this full agenda where they're gonna try to kill off, delete all the male heroes. Because if you know comic directions, hold on.
Okay.
You know Clea,
no,
because
no,
Clea
no,
takes
I know where you're going with
Clea
this.
takes his place in the comics of Sorcerer and then
Sorcerer Supreme. I thought you were going to talk about America.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm gonna give my 2 cents.
She's all right. She's all right, but I wouldn't call her great either because it's like, who the hell? She's basically Dora the Explorer, all grown up. The hell?
Okay, that's it.
I'll say this. I think I'm excited to see more of America Chavez in the MCU to interact and fight alongside other characters.
Oh wow, she can punch stars.
To me, she was a little underwritten. To an extent, I sympathize with her, but I didn't. I liked the moment where Zombie Doctor Strange was like, "Go kick that witch's ass." I liked. I'm like, all right, there we go. But she was underwritten. It was more of a MacGuffin type of thing. And I'll say this as a Latino, I was cool to hear some Spanish in the MCU.
Yeah, it had a Mexican music on it, like that bitch.
And the fact that she interacted with
another Doctor Strange.
Ronan. Remember, this movie got banned in other countries because of what she was identifying as.
Fuck them.
Yeah, that's their problem. That's their problem.
I for anybody in those countries that couldn't see the movie, I sympathize.
It's inappropriate because she's underage. But we're not going to get on that. Let's get on next.
It was the parent scene. The only thing. This is the thing with her. I'm actually gonna put this picture up here because if you look at this, because I was like waiting for it. I'm like, you gonna ban this film? ban it,
Right?
And
Over a simple like couple seconds of just mentioning my mom's, and that's basically it.
but no, but still, like, it is she got a pendant on her jacket that says
Mhm.
that she's part of the the
The
alphabet group.
LGBT,
Yeah.
The rainbow
So,
community.
but also this is also to me too. I just want to make sure I never really liked this version of her character but the directors they explain that she's actually a lot older in the comics
in the
than
comics,
MCU.
this is a younger version.
Yeah, because this
Not
is
in
like
the movie.
yeah, this is her. Right? Am I screen sharing?
No, it's just
I don't see
smart
anything.
talk.
Oh, right
You're
here. Sorry, my
selfish. You're
bad.
selfish, Sharing.
There we
Right
go.
here. So right here,
that's her in the comics. A bit older, like late teens, early 20s, something like that. But the version in this movie was like 16 years old,
But
more
still legal.
inexperienced. What?
I think that's the point of like when you kind of bring children in and all this stuff. But also here's the thing: Wiccan and Wanda's or at least Wiccan Billy,
Looking at
right?
Speedy.
No, it's both of them not gay, right? No, it's one of them.
One of
No,
them is.
it's just Wiccan. It's just Wiccan. I think.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think.
But no.
And
yeah,
that's
I'm
the
like,
problem.
The problem. Jesus, this is not the 1960s. This is not the 1950s. It's not taboo. Like,
We don't want to
come
see
on
this
now.
stuff, though. We want to see originality. Let's watch originality.
I'm sorry.
This-
Did Ebony
this is not
did she
Cinemax.
just call
This is
her?
the
Did she
MCU.
just call her another Ray?
we
Nah,
really?
so-
Yes. Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Bloomy Ebony. Yes. Come on up, Ebony. Come on up.
No.
But I will say this though. I did not find her character actually annoying. It just felt like it definitely
Rushed.
felt her character was shoehorned because she was originally supposed to be in Spider-Man No Way Home.
I heard about that. Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
she
but-
was supposed to be in
And I'm
it.
glad they cut her out because it's obviously to me like
Ned, bro. Ned rose to the occasion.
what say again?
Jesus Christ.
Ned rose to the occasion because he could do the little thing with those hands spinning around. He rose to the
Sleeping?
occasion. Exactly. Thank you, J. King.
Right. And I just think that for me it's like I felt she was all right and I felt because they could easily make her annoying like saying she's a know-it-all or anything like that or something like that. They didn't really do that. It just felt she was actually a legit plot device, no pun intended, because that's what her power was. But here's my problem with her as a plot device because I know they're trying to build Young Avengers in front of us, and don't say Kevin Feige, we're just gonna do we're just doing whatever. We're not doing this. You are building Young Avengers. Bullshit. So, but my whole thing about her character is going to the logic of the MCU that you have taught us, Marvel. You have taught us in WandaVision with the commercials, with the antidepressant pills called the Nexus. If any of you guys read the comics, Nexus means that you are a being that can travel through the multiverse, which is in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But by that logic, America Chavez is a Nexus being because it's only her. She doesn't have alternate versions of herself. But my thing about this is that the whole thing was the Scarlet Witch was also a Nexus being. So why does she need America Chavez powers to get, to travel through the multiverse if she's a Nexus being that you taught us in WandaVision? Oh, maybe because you just didn't watch the damn episodes. That's my thing. It's confusing to an audience member if I'm following the logic that you're talking me about, these variants and all that stuff, the multiverse, man, you get no mention of Sylvie, no mention of King, not mention of, hey, the TVA, no mention of like, yo, the multiverse is broken
Not
because
even
of
Thor's
this
movie.
motherfucker, right?
It's weird. You know what's fascinating, Jedi Mike, that you say that about the variants?
Mods in the chat.
Mods.
All right.
It's the Russians. I feel that you didn't have to even have more cameos. I think the one logical thing that would have been nice, that even whether it be Doc Strange, it would be Wong, or even Reed Richards, since he's the smartest man on the earth, be like, who's someone that can get through to Wanda to just calm her down for a second, be like, really think about this over, what we're doing. And I feel that one thread that hasn't been explored or mentioned was White or Soul Vision, if you will, who left at the end of WandaVision. It would have been a sweet thing that'd be like, Strange, is there anybody who can really get to her? You've tried, Wong's tried, I've tried, nobody can get to her. Is there anybody?
How about Hawkeye? Wait a minute. He's with family.
Nope, but even past that, but even past that,
we passed that though. We're past that point.
There's a cool exchange between them about like, Wanda, I have kids too. Like, don't think about this. She says,
by the way, I'll say this: Franklin Richards coming for that ass. I'm telling you. You don't kill my daddy? Fuck you. I'm coming for you in the multiverse.
But I'll say this. I'll say this before you bring up the next topic or next comment. That it would have been
Richard coming
nice
for that ass.
if it would have been nice if Reed Richard and Doctor Strange be like, who's someone we can get to talk to her before she goes too far, more than she already has. Vision. What if he bring him down? Be like Wanda, like our kids. It's our destiny, our burden and responsibility that we don't get the kids, but other versions of us will have them and they will be safe. Let's accept that and be like, that's the gig of a superhero. We don't always get the girl, we don't always get the guy, we don't always get the kids, we don't always get the nice porch house. That's the role of a superhero. That this with great power comes great responsibility. I don't know. Thank you, Blooming Ebony. Thank you. Yeah, and it's fascinating because I liked Loki. I really liked the season of Loki, and it was fascinating that a writer from Loki was writing for Doctor Strange and Wanda.
That bi shit.
Of what? Oh, that was you gender. He's gender fluid. I guess whatever.
Oh my god.
So it's like, but the whole thing is a character. He's a god. He can change anything. I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not losing sleep.
It's not. It's literally.
Exactly.
It's not like.
It's no point in losing any.
I'm gonna see Sylvie and Loki having kids. I'm good with that. I'm waiting.
That's some Game of Thrones stuff right there.
I'm waiting. Yes. Let's get to that.
About the House Targaryens coming to the show coming during the summer. We'll definitely be breaking. We'll definitely break these episodes. Game of Thrones is back.
Yeah. Go back to the topic real quick at hand as we're laughing.
Yes.
But still, like, this movie was good. I wouldn't call it one of the greatest MCU movies, but it's good. It's really good. It's watchable. It's able to be watched again, maybe once.
It's fresh. It feels fresh to me.
However,
here we go.
I will not stand for this. This is stuff that I will not put up with anymore. I cannot hold and bid my tongue adieu. So, with that being said, hopefully they clean this stuff up. They make it make sense. And damn it, why can't we see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds already in this damn MCU?
Because Hugh don't want to do it no more. He's tired.
I'm not talking to you, J. King.
But here's the thing. And now we can get to the point of the whole thing with the Illuminati, right? Because one, I know you guys, like J. King was me in the theater.
Thank you, Ebony. Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that for me, said was it Deadpool getting piped? Okay. All right. Sorry, I pulled that up.
That was that's in and out,
No, but that's the thing. The X-Men, because like we were expecting a lot of things that are coming out of this film, right? That people speculated. But this is not my thing. It's not about my speculation becoming expectation, right? There was the rumors, there was leaks about, this is the film that's gonna break the multiverse and bring the X-Men finally into the MCU, right? But this is my point. Nope. I had an issue with this story because, like, again, you hyping it, right? And now you gotta make me wait even longer. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna wait till Secret Wars that still isn't confirmed, right? We think Secret Wars is coming. Never said Secret Wars is coming. Think about it. They never said Secret Wars is coming.
Incursions are making people think Secret Wars are coming, but just because of the word, they never said anything. They might one day, but not now.
But here's my point.
It's coming.
But here's my point: is that
maybe
it's not the fact that
enough of you.
Like it's not the fact that like okay, get like it's not the fact that we didn't get I didn't get Cyclops and Jean Grey and Storm. I love Storm, but no, it's like not like
dude, we see Human Torch.
Or Human Torch, or like even it's not about that. I didn't get anything the X-Men. It's a point of Wanda's character, which we're gonna get into in a second. About whether we find her redeemable or anything like that, whatever. With Wanda, they with obviously the whole thing with the rights with the MCU, they obviously had to bring Wanda in as an Avenger and along with Quicksilver first, not mention anything about mutants when they were first introduced because of legal issues, and now. We're transitioning to her character now in terms of being the full Scarlet Witch from the comics. But now the only side we don't have of her is the X-Men. Now, for me, I thought this would actually for them to bring the X-Men will actually hopefully bring closure to her character and put her in and put her to a directory of her emotional arc, because the fact that she has so many things taken away from her. She has had her brother taken away. She got her parents were bombed by Tony Stark. Then all of a sudden she got put into this Hydra program, get experimented on, and also Ultron killed her brother. Then she got locked up for accident from within Civil War. Then all of a sudden, she loses Vision, and then all of a sudden, she killed Vision. Then had to see him get killed again. She gets blipped out for 5 years, comes back, then realized that she can't even bury Vision because he's basically public property now to the government. And now here she is creating this reality out of grief. And now she creates this happy place, even though other people in the town were at harm, or taking control. She creates these children who were never real, and those things were taken for her, right? But the whole point of her character to me was that
those kids didn't even want her.
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty. That's the
That's
tragic,
the
beautiful
whole-
thing.
but my thing about but here's the thing. My point about this is that with the X-Men, that you have stretched her arc so much that the whole Avengers is gone. It's gone. Kiss the lunchbox goodbye.
Say it
That's
again.
gone.
Say it again.
The
Okay.
lunchbox goodbye. Like that's the thing.
That's
But
the
the point-
fascinating thing. Yeah.
But the point about this too is that you brought the X-Men in, especially with Magneto and the family thing, because like I mentioned it in Team JVS. Bullshit about that's her parents. They're adopted.
Look at Pretty B. Look
They're
at Pretty B at the bottom.
They're adopted.
Oh man. Yeah,
Right?
it's weird because I feel that you didn't have to give me all the eye candy.
Yeah, the
To
one at
me,
the bottom.
But then
It's-
also
it's-
the thing of this too is that with Wanda, that for her to have Magneto, to have Polaris, have this whole other mutant race that now she realized she's a part of, it will basically realize, hey, I've lost so much, but I haven't really lost anything because I now have a father I never even knew, and I also have a sister I never even knew, right? And what could have been a beautiful ending is the fact that she crumbled down the dark hole building, whatever her throne, and in the rubble comes Magneto, and all of a sudden say, "We got you," and then cut to black,
Shout out Michael Fassbender.
right?
Yeah. Or Ian McKellen, because he's the one been tweeting out that like I would love Elizabeth Olsen. That, like,
Michael
which-
Fassbender.
That's fair. And I think what's another, it just came to me right, an idea would have been like if they would have gone a different route with Wanda in this film, because it would have been nice that she sees what she will do if she does go with a plan, and at the end, Strange, talks to her like more in a therapy way, and gives her like a place where they adopt kids, and she finds two kids that look just like Billy and Tommy, and adopts them. And I mean, you brought up the whole thing about redeeming or not. I was really hoping, and I still hope for one day, that we get the West Coast Avengers. And I was hoping that she would be one of the core members to be like, all right, I'm going to raise my kids and whatnot, but I will be on the West Coast side leading the Avengers, this region of Avengers on the West side. And yeah, again, it's a double-edged sword where I really, really like this film a lot. I had so much fun with it. And yet I could be like, well, you could have done this and give it at peace for a second before you bring Wanda back for a big epic thing, because at this point, because she's not dead. I mean, it would be ballsy if they keep her dead, but she's not dead.
Jedi, you're muted.
No, it's not. It's not even the fact that it was like where her character, like, of course she's not dead, but
Yeah.
she renegotiate her contract, that she's gonna be in more projects. But my thing about this is that you set her up to be my favorite female character, Marvel, like in the MCU, right? And my point is like, at what point where she can go from here, right? Because at WandaVision, I gave her the excuse of like, all right,
small town,
small town. She didn't kill anybody. She didn't know what she was doing. Something on whatever, and yet she's a victim. She basically is. She lacks self-awareness, right? And with that, when you lack self-awareness, you become a danger to yourself and everyone around you, right? That's hence the whole thing with Westview, which is the whole thing with grief. The 5 stages of grief, which one thing is being in denial. She didn't know what was going on, how she started this, which I thought the show did beautifully. But to the point at the end of the film, they turned from her from being a character that I think was based in vulnerability to now being more sinister. And now, like, I don't care what I do, the ramifications I do, and I'm not gonna stop until I get my kids who, and I don't even care what the other me gonna do. And that's the point where I understand you can say she's corrupted by the dark hold, but after that, my thing is like where you go from here, from this, because like we still don't have Billy and Tommy in the main in the Earth in
Bro,
the
Six
they
one
gave
six.
her
616.
they gave her the Jean Grey death from X-Men 2, X-Men United.
I was gonna
She's gonna
tell you. I
come
was about to
back.
say that right now. That if my only because I think to me she's still my favorite female character in the MCU. Even though she's done atrocious stuff and killed a lot of people, her what she goes through and her abilities is fascinating to me. And I think that because I don't think with if when they bring up the X-Men, I don't. It's sad that I don't want them to do the Phoenix Saga because to the other franchise they did it twice already. And what I would think is that they're gonna take elements of the Phoenix Saga and give that to Wanda, and then maybe one day she will truly die from the 616, and she will, and some people's minds be like, well, she died for the good reasons, but she's not redeemable. Or for some of us, she'd be like, all right, she finally came back, and in a similar way to what Loki went through in Infinity War, where he was still, he was still willing to attack Thanos, but he does say Odin's son, where he says like, I accept who I am and my heritage, but I'm still going to go out fighting. And it's fascinating. From what I heard of Elizabeth Olsen, is that she wanted more opportunities to do other stuff than the MCU. And as someone who's a fan of her as just an actress, I would say that's fair. Give her space after what this movie did and what WandaVision put her through. I say let's do that, and we'll see what comes afterwards. Again, and Feige I trust, but this is a fascinating turn, if you will, of the MCU.
Yeah, yeah, but and I understand like saying the turn of the MCU, but my point about this is like to me, Multiverse of Madness was multiverse in distress. That's how I felt that what this title should have been because this whole main event thing that you're saying we're hyping to be bigger than Spider-Man,
Right.
bigger than Endgame, bigger than Infinity War, right? And my thing about this is that okay, it's just like Loki was more complex in this film, right? Forgive the fact that it was
A show.
sick was a show that was several hours, whatever, then a two
Right.
and a half, 2 hour and 15-minute movie. It was the point of narratively in the story that they gave things that even though that they gave you concepts, they gave you rules, and they were able to maintain that rules in the story that they were creating, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but with this film, they kept doing what they broke that. They broke that, right? And when it's a movie that does that, not a Disney Plus show that not everybody has a subscription, right? Not everybody has a subscription. Still, people have not even watched the show. And
Yeah.
now, when you're saying everything is connected, everything the rules that you gave me are now broken, right? And it's not being inconsistent. And to a point that scares me now is that moving forward, as Marvel, when you are doing it, and not that the multiverse is not a crazy concept that we can't understand. It's just that at least just be consistent what you're trying to do.
It
And then
makes
it's
it
like
seem like it's in an inconsistent flux.
right, because like think about this. We got a 2-minute line of saying this is what an incursion is. We never heard of an incursion before, right? Why you mention that in Loki? We heard about branches. We heard about pruning timelines.
Yeah.
Never hear about incursion. What's an
The the
incursion?
the title in the Multiverse of Madness incites an Avengers threat level or Avengers epic thing. That's I feel that like I said about the whole Doctor Strange meets the Scarlet Witch. That feels like a solo film. And when if you just put out a movie or a miniseries called In the Multiverse of Madness, it'd be like, all right, the 6 episode epic tale or a 2 hour and 20 minute movie where it's like, all right, this is our first big step and seeing what we do with when we interact with people from different multiverses, different universes, and the repercussions of it instead of jamming it into 2 hours and 5 solid minutes or
Which
two
is
hour minutes.
why this movie isn't really that. That's the thing about why I say I put Spider-Man over this movie, because at least with Spider-Man it was direct to the point and we understood it already for what it was coming
Yes,
from. Because
simplistic. Yeah,
Spider-Man, he was going through grief in Far From Home. This was No Way Home where he had that moment, with Aunt May, the other villains, and
yeah,
Doctor Strange. You had you know We haven't even got a freaking update yet on Secret Invasion. They just been teasing here and there and the like Twitter feed and stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, I
Secret
wonder
Invasion
if
is supposed to be a big thing.
I wonder if Comic-Con or D23 is when they'll start revealing some more stuff now that thank you, Blooming. Now that we're not out of COVID yet, we're not out of it yet, but we're now more have somewhat of a grasp than we did a few years ago when all these shows and movies were being shot around the same time. And it's gonna be fascinating. And I'll say this that after what you did with the Infinity Saga, you have the right to swing different ways. And if you miss, you swallow it and you move on. After what you did with the saga and making us care for a character you've been hinting at for 10 years and you deliver on Thanos, I'll be like, all right, try what you're gonna do. It may not all land like it did in the past few years, but you have that validation, you have that freedom to do that and see what connects and what doesn't connect.
I'm gonna add this too, right? Because like they have villains that they haven't showed yet that are very pinnacle to the MCU, which is like Galactus, Mephisto.
Oh yeah.
These guys that are huge villains of the MCU. You have Kang, obviously, who we got a little bit of Loki. I'm waiting for Kang as well, as much as the other villains I just mentioned. But you even have the King of the Symbiotes that they keep referencing. They keep bringing up in news and stuff, which is going to be interesting.
Right.
Well, hell, you have
because Gore the God Butcher has a sword of it, I think. Yeah.
Which we now know that symbiote is now in the MCU. So
symbiote.
So so the whole thing, because also this is what they're building up for Secret Wars. Because also in Secret Wars, that's when we got the black suit from Spider-Man. That's his first introduction. Us with the black suit was in Secret Wars. Now, but the whole thing, I want to go into Reed Richards. Because John Krasinski now there's not rumor that he's been fan cast. We all wanted him to be in it, and now the whole thing saying that he wasn't going to be in it. He might have been teasing it, and finally he is. Now, to me, I felt his portrayal of Reed Richards. I thought I was okay with it. I don't want to feel like this scene was like this whole cameo was an audition. I really fuck with the suit though. I think that suit looks really good on him. I like the whole thing with him having the beard and him more older, a little bit different. Like I said, keep that. That's different. But I think the main thing is that all of us are just kind of waiting for is that we just need a consistent Fantastic Four.
Right.
Oh wait, Ronnie, you got dip?
Yeah, fellas, I have to head out. Got some work to do and some traveling. I got to prep for tomorrow. This was fun. This was hilarious at some point.
Take pictures.
I will. And Jedi, J King, it's always fun to talk to you, brothers. Have fun, and I'll see if I can watch the rest later.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Ronan Unchained on YouTube, y'all. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Man.
Hey, Ronan, real quick before you go, do you still do reaction videos?
Do I do reaction videos?
Still?
Yes, I do. I do reaction reviews. This logo, I put it up for a reason. I will be heading out to Celebration, and I might do some videos for that stuff. It's gonna be an interesting year, and check out the channel and let's grow it out more. Thanks, guys.
Right. Peace out, man.
Yeah. No, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
See you, man. But I've been thinking. I want to answer the question that Brittany B had for us. What was it? Can y'all explain how they just started the movie with people just being okay with seeing BS in the city like opening creature? Right. I mean,
by the way, you kind of skipped J King.
Wait, oh really?
That private chat message.
Sure. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't get to say anything about America or Wanda or anything for the past couple of minutes.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm like doing multiple things right here.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess I'll just give my thoughts then about the past couple topics. If I miss anything, please excuse me. Okay. I guess I'll give my thoughts on the whole Wanda consistency, and as well the feeling of WandaVision, Loki, No Way Home leading to this movie and everything like that. I do agree with you guys where I definitely think that No Way Home handled a lot of stuff better than it did in this film in terms of keeping things simplistic. I definitely can agree with that. But when it comes to Wanda and the fact of can she be redeemed, I think it comes to the simple fact of there are just some things that people have done that can't be undone, no matter what magic or how much you wish it could be undone. But that doesn't mean that they aren't in a place to be forgiven for it. Yeah, she's done a lot of crap in Westview and in this movie, but even in the comics, when she caused House of M, which this was kind of her House of M tantrum in a way, she still was a few years later brought back to the Avengers. Like after the whole young Avengers assemble and her children find herself again, she basically puts herself back on a path of trying to fix herself. Granted, she causes a lot of, mistakes trying to fix things along the way, but it does show that she's at least trying to gain forgiveness from the Avengers, X-Men, and all the superhero community. So I feel like she's going to lie low, but whenever the next big thing is, whether it be Avengers 5 or Secret Wars or whenever, she'll try to prove herself. She may mess up, but she might try and just prove herself. And also, when it comes to the whole, and I've been looking at the chat, and I've been seeing people talking about the, you know, oh, this woke shit and all that type of stuff. But listen, I've been hearing that for years in the movies, in the comics, and many other things. And at this point, I'm just gonna say this because Marcus, you brought this up saying like, oh, they're gonna replace them. And look, while I know Clea currently in the moment in time is, somewhat replacing Doctor Strange, that's not gonna happen. All right, just how DC has its legacy characters, Marvel has them. They may not be the best at doing it compared to DC, but they definitely do have a bunch of legacy characters that will come up. Okay, not everyone is going to get replaced, and most of the time when that type of stuff happens, it's to service the type of narrative and the story. Just like, again, perfect example, Jane Foster. She may be coming Thor in this, but Odin's son is still around. He ain't going nowhere as far as we know.
It's a deception and it's a betrayal, and it needs to be stopped.
It's not a deception. It's fucking storytelling, and that's what it is. Case in point, it is just fucking storytelling, and it is okay for there to be. Listen. My time, okay? I ain't get a couple minutes to talk.
That's right.
Okay?
He forgot about you. I'm sorry about that.
All right, listen. It is just storytelling, okay? And it is okay for us to have Kamala Khan, Miles Morales, Riri Williams, Amadeus Cho, and many of the other
I'm not
characters.
complaining with Kamala Khan because Kamala
about
Khan was an original character. Yes,
Hey,
but we have to add all this stuff.
But
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
let him
I'm
talk,
just
let him talk.
saying. But I'm just saying though. I'm tired of hearing people saying that, oh, everyone's getting replaced. First off, not everyone is getting replaced. And can we stop using the word replace? Because whether y'all like it or not, these characters are growing old. I mean, hell, it's one of the reasons that RDJ ended it after Endgame. Like
Replaced.
he can't do it forever. There's going to have to be new people to take it up, or the legacy is just gonna have to end, or however the case they want to go with it. But at the end of the day, there's going to be new generations of people taking up these characters. So that's why, this whole, oh, everybody's getting replaced thing is kind of, and really honestly, hella stupid because, I mean, y'all want new characters or new mantles. And here's another thing is like, y'all want new original characters, but then no one cares about them. So then that's why this type of stuff happens. Just saying that. But again, honest to God, when it comes to this film and Wanda's whole, I'm gonna just talk about Wanda's whole thing, and then we'll get to the Illuminati.
Go ahead.
When it comes to Wanda's whole thing, again, she will probably never be forgiven for what happened with Westview or what she did in this film, but that doesn't mean that she can't try and make amends in a different type of way by just continuing to protect the world from whatever the next big bad is, Kang, Galactus, Annihilus, whoever the hell it could be, that she'll just continue to do that. And also, point in case, and I made this before already about her killing the Illuminati, I'm just going to say this right now, she is a reality warping person. It doesn't matter how strong they are. She's taken on stronger characters in the comics and basically whooped them to the next dark dimension. It didn't surprise me at all that she took down many of those characters, especially with the fact that those characters were acting hella cocky. I mean, we can't lie. They were acting hella cocky, saying, we can take you, which No, they couldn't. No, they could not. And in terms of the whole Nexus being thing, this will be my last point. In terms of the whole Nexus, yes, she is not Magneto trash can. I know that. She's probably a lot stronger given her magic and her ties to things like a Thawne and her mutant heritage and everything like that. That doesn't mean that her snapping Xavier's neck is something to get pissy about. Because Magneto's killed Xavier before. Multiple people have killed Xavier before. Even Cyclops has killed Xavier before with the Phoenix Force. So it's not unheard of for someone that you think is a big shot to get taken out by something of ease. It's happened. And at this point, it's just something that's going to happen sometimes. Whether it be in a PG-13 way or in the gruesome way that it did in this movie, which I must say, one of the most gruesome stuff I've seen in the MCU. All right? Magneto's the only one that could be forgiven like that. Oh, so Cyclops can't be forgiven? I'm going to just leave it at that. But yeah, basically in terms, America Chavez, we'll see how her history goes. Wanda, she'll never be forgiven, but she can at least work towards it. And the Illuminati getting killed, not out of the blue. I've seen worse. If you read comics, I've seen worse. So let's move on to the Illuminati, basically.
Yeah. No, so like with the Illuminati,
they are replacing.
They're not replacing.
So okay, so with that, okay, going to the argument about let's say with the whole thing replacing, I say I disagree with that. I say I disagree with that because of point of if in terms of following Marvel comics in terms of the film universe and what they're doing, is that they're basically following the trend of comics of like, okay, this character either has passed away, they're phasing out, and then all of a sudden, now it's basically a transition to him. Like, for example, I love Miles Morales, but I don't need to have Peter Parker killed or to bring Miles Morales. Now, if they do that, I feel like I would like to see both of them just in the same screen, and he has his own story, he has his own story, whatever.
Are we rioting?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. Given Tom Holland's thing, I think it's gonna be more of like co-sharing Spider-Man, like they do in the comics right now. It's just gonna be a co-sharing. I don't think they're gonna kill Peter. They'll probably kill someone else to motivate Miles, but they won't kill
maybe
Peter,
another
probably.
like another version, maybe older, maybe Toby, Andrew, if they come
or
back,
or,
whatever.
or a friend or something like that. Like if it's in the MCU, like or a friend or something like that. Mods.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you.
They are relentless tonight.
Nah.
Also,
because they heard the blasphemy coming out of other panelists right now.
Nah.
Okay. But again, like just as Ebony has said on there, like we can't have them forever. We can't. They are people too. They gonna die at one point.
I might honestly, this might be a topic for a show, honestly, because I think that we can get very passionate about this though, because I like this conversation because I want to have it when Miss Marvel comes out. Because Miss Marvel,
the legacy of characters and new generation, old generation, things like that. Okay, yeah, that would be good. That would be an interesting one.
Because I was on Ego, Everyone Gets One's podcast just recently, and they were talking about the whole X-Men versus the Avengers storyline, how that was basically kind of crap, right? Saying like, hey, who will win, Avengers or X-Men? They were saying, well, Avengers because of Wanda. I'm like, you can't use Wanda because she's not really reliable Avenger in that sense.
And she's not the only strong hitter as well.
Right. So basically, yeah. So but I do believe that with that whole topic about legacy, because like with America Chavez, she's not based based off.
She's her own original thing.
You're right, but I don't think that when it comes to like saying the representation of it, I think it was talking about what Trash Can Wave talks about it, where saying have good characters based off it. My personal opinion for me, as much as I like, it's not like with CW where they're almost kind of like they're just making it horrible storytelling and everyone their mama just left and right doing that. I'm just and to me it was like, okay,
let's not talk about that, please.
Oh no! Oh wait.
No, let's not. Just continue what you were saying. Just
let him
move
run
on.
his thing. Let him run. God dang, he's the host.
Hold on. I gotta do this. Hold on. In honor. Hold on. So in honor of Mr. Kevin Samuels passing away, and also into the light of certain CW shows being canceled. I'll start going off topic just a little bit. I want to play this music right here.
Is that taps?
Okay. All right.
This ain't
Yeah.
the night. Let's do this another night, please.
Yeah. I just had to do that. I told you so. I told you. But anyway,
You didn't say nothing.
no, anyway, we're getting into it later. But that's, I think, honestly, for me, like with America Chavez, I felt like that character in terms of the representation part, it really was nothing, in my opinion, to me, that was like, you're gonna ban this, whatever. Now, if they want to have the whole thing with children, I'm like, say, okay, all right, whatever. But you have in Thor: Love and Thunder, we're gonna get more of it because Valkyrie is, I think she's bisexual. But now this is the thing that really, I don't know, I don't say that would bother me, but it just seemed kind of weird if they made if they made Jane Foster and Valkyrie get together. I heard some rumor about that. I'll be like, I just don't see how that would work,
And you know
because
the parents are gonna have a problem with that, taking their kids to that shit at their young
But-
underage.
but even then, I don't think that like I don't know if that would make sense. I just heard a rumor about that, but also they're calling Valkyrie a king, not a queen. So just like, because she's running Asgard and all this stuff like that. So
Perfect example for me to bring up right now. Can I bring up the fact that Dwayne Wade? Perfect analogy of a moment. No, perfect analogy of a moment. You know what I'm talking about, Jedi. You really want to think we want to see that shit as fans? Families? We want to hear the originality, the traditionalism of Marvel Comics. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. Enough. We want to see that bullshit. Moment of silence. Please play the taps again.
I will say this though, with moving forward in terms of like going back in terms of the whole Illuminati. At first, when we go into this film, they said it was a multiversal Illuminati, which I thought, they thought each member of the Illuminati was from different universes, but apparently not. They're all from the same universe, which has been titled Dimension Earth 838, right? And our universe, or the main MCU timeline universe, is known as Earth 616,
616,
which in
which
Marvel
is the main titling in the comics. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that is the main timeline that they're going to be are moving forward, or at least our dimensions. We now know that that's the consistent one. But still, as of right now, we still have no X-Men, no Fantastic Four that at least been introduced in the 616 MCU timeline, which we've been waiting for. But that being said, to me, I'm not going to say I felt the cameos, felt they were half-assed. To me, it's just more of, I hope Illuminati is a concept I don't want them to get rid of, right? Especially when you have several members who are not going to be part of it. Unfortunately, not going to have Tony Stark part of it because at least in the 616 he's passed away. We're not going to have Black Panther, even though he never really was a member of Black Panther, a member of the Illuminati. He was invited, but then he denied. But we have Namor, which will probably be introduced in Black Panther this coming year. But then with Les was Black Bolt, Professor X, and Reed Richards. Now, for them to bring back the Black Bolt of the Inhumans show, right? I think that was also a middle finger to the guys who was running that project for TV and ruined that character and the whole storyline. Because for some of you guys don't know, that whole thing was Inhumans was actually a movie on the slate of Marvel.
Yeah, which Feige wasn't even ready for. Again, it was more the fact that because they couldn't get the mutants at that time, they wanted to replace them with the Inhumans, and so they wanted to make the movie. But Feige wasn't ready to do anything Inhumans yet. But they was like, okay, fine, we'll just take it to the TV side, which is how it bled in Agents of Shield, and then the Inhumans TV show, which we can say obviously is not canon anymore. So I guess we can just say, don't talk, don't think about it. The actors will just get a chance to do it better now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. and with the humans, so like they got the main actor who's now on Star Trek, I believe, Star Trek Discovery, who's playing
Mm-hmm.
Captain Pike. But I felt like the introduction they had him in there, I was like, oh shoot, they got Black Bolt. 'Cause I thought he's just a really cool character. But at least with the representation, I think Black Bolt after this is done. Unfortunately, I don't think he's coming back. Even though we're not gonna get
Well,
comp. I think
you know,
they're done.
you never know. They might. I mean, with Miss Marvel, we know they're changing some things, but in terms of the Inhumans, like you never know that like they might be hiding something from us. They might. I mean, they made the suit for a literal just death. Nah. They got that suit for something else. Same thing with Reed. They got that suit for something else. We'll most likely see them again, maybe at a later point, but I don't think we're done with them. I think they're just waiting till the correct time to do something proper with them.
Well, even then, it just like we even know what they're doing with the Netflix, like with Daredevil and Kingpin. Like we can say the whole thing with Echo, but we just still don't know the whole thing with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all the other characters. Like, all right, Cottonmouth is now Blade. So what are you gonna do now? They're trying to bring in that continuity of the universe and stuff. So that's what the thing is.
Well,
Like,
I think as Vincent D'Onofrio had said when he talked about the whole thing with Hawkeye, like some things stuck, but some things haven't. So I think, and again, I'm going back to like the Netflix shows right now just to even like watch them again, but also to think about okay, what could stick? Because remember, Netflix shows that happened when they thought it was canon around the first Avengers movie. Obviously, some things are going to have to change.
Great Kingpin, by the way.
Great,
absolutely.
exactly. Obviously some things are going to have to change, but I think they're slowly like in projects we won't see like Echo, we might see something. Maybe that's what we'll see Matt again. I don't know. But I think in some projects we're not expecting, we'll slowly start to see characters come back and then they might announce, I don't know, a new Defenders movie or Marvel Knights TV series or something like that
Or
that'll
Midnight Sun. Yeah,
explore.
well,
Yeah,
Midnight
maybe
Suns for the Punisher. Yeah.
well, Punisher probably in Midnight Suns, but like maybe like a Marvel Knights thing to like see the new timeline for these guys, like not redo anything they've done, but move forward, but explain a bit of how things are different from Netflix to here, but move them forward to integrate them better with other characters like Spider-Man and Moon Knight and stuff like that, like being able to interact with these other New York superheroes and all that. Like we'll probably see them. They're slowly integrating them in
Trash can
just
wait. Stop
quietly
focusing
and
on the
without much
hotness
of our
of Jessica
knowledge.
Jones. Okay, enough.
Wait, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Trash can wait. Just focus on the hotness of Jessica Jones. Focus on the quality of the show.
Thank you. Seriously. Saying Luke Cage is a strong, stereotypical black man. Dude, focus.
Wait a minute. His
Focus.
powers are cool and unique. What are you talking about? Impenetrable skin
Exactly.
and super strength? That's like
Exactly.
Superman, basically, except flying and heat vision.
Mm-hmm. And respect. Oh, okay. But anyways. But yeah, again, I think that they're gonna like slowly integrate them into other things. Echo is probably one we'll see something about it, given her history with Daredevil and Fisk. But we'll probably see them slowly start to come in as either a new Defenders or Marvel Knights type of thing.
Yo, I got brought up a buddy of mine. We got the Great Pill podcast just coming to the building. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Doing good, man. Thank you for stopping by, dude. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
How are you, sir? How are you? Shout out to you.
Hello.
Hasha.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but no, I didn't want to cut you off, J King. Were you done? Or
Yeah, I was about done.
okay, got you. So Great Pill, did you see the film?
No, unfortunately, I didn't have time to. We're just talking about some other stuff. I was trying to play catch up with a whole bunch of other stuff. Nah, I haven't seen it yet. Looking forward to it though.
Got you. Oh no, so did you see Moon Knight either?
Oh, that I did see.
The finale?
Yeah, that was my to-go list. So I'm going down. So that was one I saw last night. I watched it twice. Very proud of it. I like the fact that years ago, a guy in one YouTube space was predicting that they're going to have Underdog and them them old superheroes and villains, or them sidekicks nobody really put too much shine the light onto, like Green Arrow, Catwoman, Shazam, the Shazam kid. So all them people's like is now getting those, they're just due. So I'm loving it. Shout out to even Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, aka Power Man. So I'm glad to see all these people flourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's shout out on to chat right here. Got Tamika just stopped by. How you doing, Tamika? Um, yeah, we got We Unlock is it here too? It's execute order
Oh
66.
shit, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. And he said Superman dog movie is a thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, it is actually a thing. No, but yeah, I will say that, and now I guess because you really didn't care for like spoilers, because now you're in this stream whatever. But I want to question to people who have seen the film is that is the point of, I'm not saying Wanda's character, is that there are people speculating that she might get her own movie, right? That for order for her to be redeemed in terms of her character, whatever. Because the whole thing about this whole motherly love that she keeps talking about, saying, "Well, I'm a mother, and I don't care what happens," right? Because you had the version who is the Scarlet Witch, and you had the one who was in the other universe and who was being possessed by the other version. And when she got unpossessed, after realizing that she killed the Illuminati, killed a whole bunch of people and stuff like that, she realized the first thing she thought about, my boys. I had to go dip, right? And at the end of the film was when, after America Chavez, punched the multiverse out of her, and the kids basically, was afraid of her, and then you had the other Wanda wounded up in the face, right, looking at her, the woman, the other version of herself who possessed her, and she could have killed her, whatever, but the only thing that she said was to the other Wandas that they will be loved, like the kids, they'll be taken care of, right, because the whole thing was she didn't want her kids that she created her own reality was taken away from her. But my thing is, this is like, to me, metaphorically, I thought that was her giving herself grace, right?
Mhm.
Of like her forgiving herself for what she's done. Because when she kept realizing, like, I'm not a monster, I wouldn't hurt anybody after you just killed all these bunch of people in a different universe. And then I
By
think
her
that's
grace.
what? What'd you say?
No, I'm just playing. I was gonna say by her grace, but never mind. Keep going.
Right. So my point is that this it leads to this conversation in terms of the fan base being divided, because it's almost like, is she far past for forgiveness, or is she just, no, is she irredeemable? Especially all the things that she experienced, she gone through. And I posed that question to the panel, is like, when someone lacks so much self-awareness, they don't know what they're doing, and to a point they're becoming a danger to themselves and others. And then when they have that realization, are they no, or should they be forgiven, or are they past forgiveness?
I say, I mean, because we're talking about comic book work, I'll leave out, because I know you're conflating the two a little bit, but I'll leave it in the comic book world, right? I'm gonna say
Right.
yes, because heck, even down to Wolverine, he made mistakes. He was slashing mofos when he had, he was out of his mind. And when he's in the right state of mind, he wasn't an atheist. He wasn't just like, hey, I'm just gonna be, excuse me, a pacifist. He wasn't gonna be none. He did him, but he felt
Mhm.
justified for doing it. So same thing with her. And remember, if we're gonna be, a little bit low key about it, she literally had the ability to warp reality, to merge reality. So if she made that mistake, she kind of could go clean slate about it. But that conscious part, that still be on her. You got to eat that. But you fixed it. But remember, you still did it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who are you, Marcus? Marcus, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? My bad.
Yeah.
As far as answering your question, I'm gonna go piggyback what Grey Pill said. I don't give a damn because Wolverine was the shiznit, you know? Like he was awesome.
You're
That's the
about the
reason
violence.
why,
I
like,
understand, sir. All right, cool.
yeah, yeah. So
All
I'll keep it like that.
right.
Keep it like
Mm.
Because
What?
remember the series, right? Because like the series that she was in, WandaVision, I wouldn't say it wasn't like she was bad, it wasn't good. It was like, hey, I'm trying to do the best I can with the situation dealt to me. Because the only person that loved me, it was her brother. That got taken away. Then she refound love again, was Vision. Then that got literally snatched and torn away from her when they actually had plans, just like, yo, it's gonna be us two. So I got it. Now she went back somewhere like, look, I'm trying to leave everybody alone. Let me live in my space, in my reality. And somehow that started getting messed with too. And then the vision that she knew and loved was even testing, was not generally pushed away per se, but it's like, hey, you still need to be the you that we knew who you were. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody started conflating with her too. It was the made up brother, the Silver Sister that we knew from the other movie.
Yeah, Quicksilver.
And
Yeah.
he kept checking, like, okay, well, if you're saying you this, but why you act like this? Like, remember, you made me up. And he told her that. And then she got offended and slapped her own brother away. So I think, again, she's at the end of the day, bro, she's only human. She only deal with what she got to deal with. Now, as far as the movie now, because remember, at the end of that, that's pretty much came to the movie Madness where it is now. It was like, I took it as she's going to use that time out to work on more her self-reflection, work on herself, even try to understand more of her power, because that witch there threw some little nuggets for her, like, oh, you're this type of person. We're the same. So I'm going to take your power because I understand it better. No, beat her. Let me work more self myself. Let me get more of understanding so I can make the more better choices. So that's how I'm taking it. So at the end of the day, she's human. Strange effed up many times. I don't, who else? Another one. I don't want the Wolverine there because I just brought him up in there. Mysterio, what?
Too.
But did he ever kill?
No, I'm telling you, he messed up the balance. Remember, because all right, I'm gonna say real quick. A lot of people, fans that don't really know in depth about the comics and the cartoons, there's higher beings above us all that are watching them as the heroes are making these mistakes and messing up the balance of time, space, etc.
And which was actually teased in the film. Like we saw a glimpse of the Living Tribunal.
The Living Tribunal.
Which was actually supposed to be in Infinity War. Like there was a scene that Infinity War where there was like a scene with the Living Tribunal, which is basically like they're like I won't say they're like they're god beings of the Marvel universe, but like they're above the Celestials,
like
and
Watchers.
all stuff. Right, something like that. Yeah, like they're above that.
Above that. Yeah, they were supposed to be watching. They were going to be Infinity War, watching over the battle of Strange versus Thanos. Actually.
Yeah, because there's actually I think there's a video. I might do that on my channel, whatever. Like there's hierarchies of the Marvel universe. So where like you always hear about Celestials, you hear about gods like Odin and Zeus or other that. But then you also hear people like Living Tribunal. Then you hear about the one being which is it's like the god
it's
entity.
A lot,
I forgot
it's
what's
a
the
lot.
name.
Just cut it short. It's a lot.
Well, what was the god? Like J King? What was the name of the god being? Like he. Not He Who Remains. Like he basically started in the comics. They refer to
the one above all.
The one above all.
Oh, I remember him. Oh, that was a good one.
He's basically God, right?
What didn't Hulk come up against him?
No, I don't think so. No, the one above all, like he's the one like watching over everything. Sometimes he's even depicted as Jack Kirby sometimes, like just watching over, making sure everything is like, going as it is, basically. Like basically the artist to the whole everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is that fair against the heroes? How is that fair?
Well,
I'm telling you, man, Marvel heroes have it bad, bro. They have it bad.
It is. I like a lot. It is a lot of chaos. Even on the like, I think that's maybe why like Marvel better than DC, but DC is more humane, I guess, so to speak. Because even Superman, he's technically like a god, but he was raised up as human, but he has human emotions. Even when the Joker, that 5-year war between Batman and Superman in comics, he pretty much is like took out Joker because Joker made him tricked him to take out his own loved one and the child. Yeah.
Lois, and Injustice.
Yeah. All of them got human. Even Fate, Dr. Fate came in and intervened in a lot of times. A lot of times. So,
I have to agree with that. Like again, like we put these guys up on high pedestals, but at the end of the day, most of them, even if they are literal gods like Thor, are still human. They're gonna make mistakes. And they're still human. We can't fault them for making the mistakes. So just as long as they don't as long as they progress and not go backwards.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, and I think
What about
also
trash
one
can
thing.
waves for what he brought up right here in the chat.
Hmm?
What? So I'm
I said
tired
shout
of
out
Marvel.
to trash can waves for what he brought up in the chat right now.
I'm tired of Marvel forgetting about what happened to the Cocoon and Guardians of the. Oh Lord,
They didn't forget about it. We're getting to that in Guardians Volume 3. We are literally getting that with Adam Warlock coming.
they the only ones been on point so far. The Avengers, Endgame, they're the
Yeah.
only ones on point. DC and the Hollywood, trash.
Wait, there was a
Mhm.
couple movies though. To be fair, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the first Wonder Woman. I think they were the best ones. Everything
you
else
serious,
was
bro?
like,
Are you serious?
And Suicide Squad.
Are you serious?
Bro, I give fair where fair is due. Man of Steel was like Dragon Ball Z. If you would have imagined,
He cut his camera off.
I know what you did right now. But listen, I'm not even paying attention to that right now. It's basically like when if Goku would fight either Cell or Frieza or whatever, the damage
You
that
can't
that
break.
fight
No. Digest what you just said. We can't go switching over to another universe now. You just said
You just
DC.
brought it up. Somebody brought it up right here.
I know you reading it. You read it. Stay out that chat.
I'm tired.
Shame.
But I will say this too. There's one thing I liked though in this film that they did was with Doctor Strange was it kept asking. There's a recurring theme in the film, kept asking, "Are you happy?" Right.
Mhm.
So they play off this trope that you thinking the lead male character and the lead female character should be together and the love interest is forced, right? But in the end of this film,
Nope.
when he went to different universes and realized that the same version, like, hey, what were we in this universe? We never figured that out.
Nothing.
So it's like across the multiverse, like y'all really are not meant to be with each other. And that's what I felt was that episode of What If from Doctor Strange was when she died, when Christine died and he kept trying to, make different reality, trying to save her and stuff. No, he got it. No, Trash and Wave
Yeah.
got it.
Okay, appreciate
Um,
trash.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. He couldn't, stop her from dying, whatever. And it just, but at the end of the film, he said, listen, I love you, and in any universe, but I realized, no, we can't be together. It's just that when I try to, care about somebody, whatever, I get scared, right? And that showed him that him as being a flawed character.
That sounds
But
like me. That
right,
sounds like me.
That sounds like me.
That's
Mhm.
relatable. That was relatable.
you explain.
That
Go
hella
into that,
was.
please. Please
All
go
right,
into that.
all
Wait,
right,
say it again. Repeat what you just were talking about.
Go ahead. Yeah, repeat what you
Say it
just
again?
said, bro.
So Doctor Strange at the end of the movie, when he was talking to Christine after he beat Sinister Strange and Wanda,
Mhm.
quote unquote decimated herself.
Just basically the end after the whole battle and everything was said and done.
He
Before
talked to, he told to
epilogue.
Christine saying that, like the whole thing about are you happy? So I love you from any different universe, but I realized like, we can't be together and that's okay. It's just that when I start caring about someone, I get scared. Right. And I'm like, guess, the Gray Pill or J King, you want to go into that?
Well, let me go first. Let me go first. He's repeating it
Yeah,
for
you
Marcus because
go ahead. You go
I
ahead.
literally had this conversation with my YouTube co-host because I had got a relationship like 2 years ago, right? And I was like, yeah, it's like you put all your baskets in there and then somehow, just relating to the comic book side, it's like something happens and then it's like all going away, right? So the same thing like now a little bit to the real world. Like I put all the effort in, aka putting all my baskets in, throwing all my cards out in the open on the table, and then all of a sudden just a gust of wind blew all the 52 decks off the table. It's so hard to pick it up because one might be on the cushion, one might be under the couch, one might be here. You got to find all them cards again to make that full deck, the play all over again, and that's very relatable. So now once you finally found all your cards to the deck, it's like I'm just gonna keep shuffling the cards. Am I gonna play again? And then if I do play again, which game I'm playing? So that's very relatable. So I'm pretty much in that same mindset with him, like scared to play again, scared to shuffle the card. You know what? I'm just gonna hold my cards together and just leave it like that. So
Okay. No, thank you for sharing that. But J King, what about you?
Well, again, I also took very much, into my being with Strange talking about like, I care about you in every universe, but I realize we can't be together. And anytime I do care about someone, I get scared. I relate to that a hell of a lot because I mean, and I think anyone could probably relate to that as well. Like you have had those times where it's like, you do care about someone, whether it's reciprocated or not, you do care about someone, but it comes to that point where you're like, maybe it's just not meant to be because either it's not working or the feeling is not mutual or whatever the case may be. Your fault, her fault, wherever it goes, that's a whole different type of argument. But the basics is that there are just some relationships or some things that you would want that can't be obtained no matter how much you wish you could. And I've definitely gone through that in my teen years of, some things are just unobtainable. They're unobtainable, they're unreachable. And as the film also says, that's okay. It's okay to accept the fact that these type of things are unreachable because there might be something better for you down the line. There might be something better for you to, you know, obtain or to get to later on down the line. Some of us may not have gotten there yet, but we will at some point. And I know I haven't yet, but I know I will at some point. And so it's like, just the film taking the time to basically be like to show the human side of these characters that sometimes there are just some things that they're not going to be able to obtain. Steven will never be able to be with Christine in his universe or in another one. Wanda with her kids, America potentially with her family, but that's okay because there's something else waiting for you or someone else waiting for you down the line, and that's definitely a lesson I've had to take over the last couple of years and something I'm still learning through as well. So that's why I took that to heart as well.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. Like, it's weird because like I never really seen that in a film before. That they come to like to agreement, like, you know what, we ain't meant to be together in a like in a comic book movie, right? Where they're like, you know what, other than like it reminded me of the Batman, how that film ended, right?
Mhm.
Because with Zoe Kravitz when she's telling him like come with me, right? They never really confirmed that they were a relation. Yes, no, he kissed she kissed him and stuff, but the whole Batman Catwoman relationship is still like, to me, I loved it because it's almost like a yin and yang relationship because
Mhm.
they're perfect for each other, but at the same time, there's circumstances of like both of them are scared to not really commit because of the fact of opening their being vulnerable with each other.
Joker called that out though.
Yeah, yeah.
The Joker called it out to Catwoman because the first one
Hmm.
was the death of the Bat family. He said, they're slowing you down, so I want to eliminate everybody else just to make you still the best Batman you can be. And he even told him, I love you more than they do. Right. And then
Hmm.
there was another one in the comic where it showed where they actually got married, had the relationship that we're talking about. And then that was a little bit more of a flex and a compromise between Batman and Catwoman because Batman still was trying to hold true to his standards, his grounds. But even Joker told Catwoman then too at the cemetery, like, yo, he's soft because of you. He's not gonna be that Dark Knight like that Gotham needs. And then when she started realizing that, she had to fall and let him go.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Right, and it was like the scene of like end of the Batman film where it's like they're driving on the bikes, but they alternate and they go two opposite directions, right? But then with this version of Bruce Wayne, that he's very, very mentally, he's torn, but the fact that he even opened up to be vulnerable, even with Alfred, like they saying he even in the beginning of the film, he said, I don't care what happens to me," but then at the end of the film, him coming from saying, "I'm vengeance to me, I need to be a symbol of justice, not vengeance," right? And realizing now I can allow people to come, help me, like Gordon, like Selena Kyle, that now I can trust. And I thought that whole scene of them just going to separate ways and him looking in the mirror, looking her back as she like disappear, and then I think then the score that was behind that, I thought that was just beautiful. But uh it's just going to point that fear of thinking like, okay, well, I know what happened before, but at the same time, we're making the hard decisions in a relationship because we can't be together. Like you remember Spider-Man? It was No Way Home. When
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Garfield was looking at the other Peter and MJ, but obviously you're looking at because he lost Gwen Stacy, and then Toby asked Andrew, "Yo, you got somebody?" He's like, "No." I don't think I have time for Peter Parker stuff, right? And I don't think it's cut out for guys like us. And it was like, and then Toby's like, no, I don't think that's true. They're just saying, we make things work. Me and MJ, which we know that whole relationship was just like much of a train wreck. But I just thought that was just beautiful because to me, that's just showing just us, any of us, on this panel, whatever, like, might go through hard times. Like, hell, you two on the bottom, actually, all three of you know what happened.
Yeah, but it's still hope,
right? There's still hope, right? And I think that I think that saying the fact that there's still hope there. I think that's just kind of beautiful just to think about.
Yeah,
just
you'd be surprised, bro, because some people on other channels say that the Galactic Empire was actually good as opposed to against the Jedi. Graypo knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, but but there's that doesn't kind of add up to this one because there's like no real relationship. Now, if you want to add Anakin with his relationship, but he pretty much forced the crap out of his woman, but the kids live. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah, which also, by the way, Obi-Wan's coming out in a few weeks. I'm breaking those episodes down.
Bruh, I'm so watching that one. I'm rewatching that and rewatching. Is it supposed to be a series or a movie?
It's a series.
Okay. Yeah, I did not wait then because like my homeboy got like I'm that guy like when stuff instantly comes out, I just got to be that first guy to do it. Even when the movie
they're dropping the first 2 episodes.
Okay, I'm good. Then I'll jump on it. I thought it was gonna do like 1, and then I'll wait to 3 more.
Yeah, but no, this is like bringing back my childhood for this one, and I probably hopefully get my editing ready and I'll try to do the reaction videos to it, but because I'm not missing this one.
I'm so proud of them, bro. Like how they doing this is like it's like they're utilizing what they already have. You got somebody playing Obi-Wan, yo, take full advantage of that because you don't want to replace him with somebody else. Even when Hugh Jackman played as Wolverine and he decided to retire the claws, but they were still trying to have a discussion like at least can you come off of cameos, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they still trying to find someone to take his place for the Wolverine. And it was like, hey, well, you can get the try to find somebody a new cast because the younger version of X-Men, but they still had Hugh Jackman coming for those cameos, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that made sense. So, but I'm so glad they're utilizing everything. So shout out to Disney, even though they rip off and take souls, but shout out to them for still holding it down for Star Wars.
Bro, I'm gonna say this, bro, because once we saw Spider-Man No Way Home, I can't leave anything out of the option of bringing back nostalgic characters. So when we saw Tobey Maguire come back, I can't not hope or expect to see.
Well, I kind of like. Well, the people actually like the real fans and the ones that actually like like hardcore watched them because the first one, you kind of like I said. Even I won't even say Spider-Man. Just again, I'm gonna go back to the Avengers. The fact that the direction the Avengers took when Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, and then before 3, then you had Thor, and then you had everybody else. You knew that it was gonna sync up and make the Avengers. Even before them, they came to Daredevil, Jessica Jones. You knew they was going to band together for that one movie to get it, to finish it out. So it was, I wouldn't say hope. It's like you knew it was coming because it was put it in the right direction it needed to be. So when Avengers came out, it was just a matter of time. And then when Endgame finished, then they had a full panel for the whole full 2 years. WandaVision, this. They put a pause on Scarlet. I mean, shout out to her. It sucked that I mean personally, this is my opinion. I think they could have did a better job, but they still put everything and lined up where it needs to be. And they're staying true to it. They're staying true to it. So I didn't hope nothing. I just knew the way the lineup was going. Well, you got bots good in on your side, Jedi. They coming in. You're muted, J King. Are they coming?
Sorry. Yeah, it's been happening a lot.
They coming in. They're like, yo, I got this.
all of a sudden, we're talking about Doctor Strange and stuff. They want to come on the box and stuff.
Hey man, it's Illuminati. What you talking about?
Oh Lord, he said the I word. He said the I word.
I'll tell you something like actually creeped me out one time. I was playing DC Universe MMO for PlayStation about a couple years ago. So me and his player was grinding for something, and he actually started talking about that. And I swear to God, his instantly just logged out, and I've never seen his player since. Freaked me out ever since. Yeah. Yeah, we just started having a conversation. He was bringing it up, and then his whole tune just deleted. We was grinding for 2 hours, and I was like, "Yo, yeah." I wish I saved that clip because that threw me off for a minute. I said, "Let me log out too."
And with that, moving on to the next subject.
Yeah.
Yep. And since Mike is not here, I guess that makes me the person in control now for a minute. So
You're the host, bro. Take your time.
yeah. All right. So keeping the whole topic of Doctor Strange, I guess now what we can just talk about is just our hopes for not just the Doctor Strange, films, but also just going forward. We still got Love and Thunder to come. We got Miss Marvel coming out in July. We still got She-Hulk coming. We still got Secret Invasion coming. We still got all these other things coming that we know, and stuff that Feige and them are still planning right now. So I guess what are our hopes in terms of like the multiverse stuff and things like that? I guess that could be the next question.
My hopes is because you mentioned She-Hulk, I hope it don't be trash. Like real talk, bro. I'm gonna be in my feelings because historically they was bringing in Stan Lee as a cameo. A few times for this Incredible Hulk movie, they brought in Lou Ferrigno. I hope they bring in Lou Ferrigno, just like with the last Wonder Woman 1984, whatever that mess was. I was hoping they bring in the original Wonder Woman just for some kind of cameo, which they could have did the whole cross the board of any Wonder Woman movie, but unfortunately they did it. Like the woman's still attractive, she still got it. Like,
she was in the movie, but
she was in there.
She was a warrior of the golden armor at the end.
At the end.
So like in Wonder Woman,
what about the other ones? Because I don't remember her. They had they could have. I mean, this is me being picky. They could have used her as the mother. It's kind of like passing the torch. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I understand what you're saying.
So,
Which character y'all talking about?
No,
they're talking about the original Wonder Woman
Linda Carter,
who showed up as a cameo at like the very end of Wonder Woman 84 as the golden armored warrior.
Well, not to piggy, because I heard Ray Pill mention Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno did a cameo in the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah, he was in it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I hope he be in this one for the She-Hulk one. You know what I'm saying? Just because him and Stan Lee been like battle buddies from the beginning. Yeah. So it just feel like it's only right, and I don't want to knock the directors, but the directors seem like they're pretty cool. When they had the whole full cast of Avengers, that seemed like that's the direction they're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we're about the quality of the show, trying to put as much into it. Even like people find these little Easter eggs. I mean that's as far as it is. But back to the question J. King asking. I didn't see, like I said, I'll watch it. I'll take the time out, try to find it and look for it. But I hope that my hopes for it is because she fixed her mess, J. King? She fixed her mess with messing up the multiverse, or it was just Strange messing up the multiverse?
Well, I mean, Wanda, yeah, like she basically, you don't care if I say like exactly.
No, I don't care, bro. I already came to the Lion's Den when the spoiler shit, so I already knew what I
all right, all right. Well, basically, to make sure no one gets tempted by the power of the Darkhold again, she basically destroyed the original temple that Chthon etched the Darkhold in, so no more Darkhold energy from there, and destroyed it destroyed the Darkholds in every universe, so no one will get tempted. And it looked like she got buried, but of course, as we know, she's still around. Just we didn't see her after she collapsed the whole tunnel, and after Strange and Wong and America got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, with that being said, I mean, I just hope everything plays as it needs to be. But I mean, you got bumps because remember the snap, everybody going 5 years, snap, everybody come back from previously, so they had to deal with that. Shout out to the Captain America series with the new Captain America. So
dope.
I mean, it's dope, but that's that same universe. So it's like that's a hump everybody got to figure out. He's gone for 5 years, Social Security, all that stuff, banking, because they talked about all that.
They don't get no money, no money.
If you remember, Great Pill, when the people were referencing like in the Spider-Man movie, in the last one, they were saying how like my brother is older than me, and like it's all reversed now.
That's what I'm saying. So it comes,
So
that was part of it. So that was for pre Wanda of this movie. So even that's another. She fixed the problem, but even with Spider-Man, when he messed up the spell with Doctor Strange. Remember that made a problem too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had them little bumps on the road. So yeah, I mean that's my only hope. Like I hope no other villains sneak out or something and go from there. But unfortunately, we know comics. I think Anthony Mackie would have kept the original character where it was instead of getting Chris Evans as leftover. I agree. That's fair. I mean, it's fair.
But
I
Falcon
feel,
looks so dope though in Captain America outfit. Captain
yeah,
Falcon.
It like that's a whole thing. And again, as Mike said, like we'll have a whole discussion about the legacy of characters, old and new, and things like that. But just to talk about that, like right now in the comics, they literally just made it to where Steve and Sam are co-sharing that name, and literally, so there's no problem. Like you want Steve, you got Steve. You want Sam, you got Sam. You don't want the either, fine. You can choose another one. There's literally no problem. So it's like Sam being Captain America was definitely the steps. I know some people probably would have wanted Bucky, but I think Bucky at this point is probably like, yeah, no, I don't know if
nah,
that's for
he a
me.
killer, bro. Yeah, Bucky know
Yeah,
better. Bucky know better.
exactly.
Hey,
I
but
mean,
wait a
he
minute.
even
That wasn't his fault though, because he was mind controlled.
true, but again, like
No,
he
even when
has
he
never been
wasn't.
the same.
Yeah. Bucky never won it. I mean, it was a time where he had the title for a moment, but Bucky's like,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, and he didn't even like last that much. Like if I remember correctly, what is it? The Fear Itself storyline. Like he literally almost got killed, and Steve was reborn at that time, so he took up the mantle after that. But again, it's like it was never meant to last for him.
Nope.
To where Sam, it feels not just a passing of the torch, but also the next generation, or in a way, the new saga, the new type of hero for the new world, basically, where Steve, he was created back during the Second World War, but Sam, he's more of like, a person of these times now, a thing, like, seeing what
Yeah.
Captain America is like for nowadays.
And I think Captain America saw that too. But and then to me, I feel like it's like it makes even more sense because the first original Captain America, if everybody saw the series, was the black dude. But he he knew back then. Again, like you said, the times was different back then. Just need to stay hidden and just leave it like that. Now the new modern time, he knew what political stuff was, so he called out the leaders that he saved about it. Like, yo, why don't y'all do this? Why don't you do that? This is why people's acting the way they acting now. Like you could literally sign a paper now and end this. If not, this is going to happen again. So it makes more sense. And two, Captain America already saw it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been doing war for like what 70 plus years. You're that guy and he really wasn't. I
He
mean,
was frozen for 70 years.
yeah, but he still considered himself like old. Yeah, he considered.
And
I'm
as he
still
said, like
101 years old.
Yeah.
and even as he said, like he left one war and woke back up right in another, just one more complicated and a lot more crazier than how he had left it. But again, he's been fighting for so long, not even a minute to rest until he finally let himself rest.
Yep. So I agree with that. He got the new show passed on. It makes more sense. So, question: why did they put in the Vision in the Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness movie? Because
he's still alive. The White Vision. In WandaVision, like White Vision is still out there with his memories and all that stuff, but he doesn't. But the White Vision is in the comics, but he just doesn't have any emotion. So
Yep.
to me, I think he might be in Armor Wars, but to me, it's still like that was a missed opportunity for him not to at least like be here or whatever. It just like that's what I'm saying. It's still kind of confusing what Marvel's direction of this is going. In terms of like the films that I know they probably will announce in the future, because I'm waiting for them in the summer to at least announce, give us a plan of what they say they're going to move forward to. But because for me, my two favorite films post Endgame was Shang-Chi and Spider-Man. That's for me. And that really did. All of that, everything else is like Internals low, Black Widow low, and then this film is not. I won't say it's bad. It's just I had issues with it.
I did
But
too.
yeah, but I just had issue with it. So it's like it's beneath that. So yeah.
I lost 2 hours of my life watching Black Widow.
Yeah,
That's gonna be hot as well.
the main problem when it comes to Black Widow is just it felt like it should have came around Civil War. I mean, the important thing of that was that we got introduced to the other characters in her family, like Red Guardian and Elena. But outside of that, like, it really feels like something that should have happened, you know, after Civil War, like right before Infinity War, something like that. Like, even if they introduced Elena there, like, and saved her for after into Phase 4, like, it still feels like something that should have happened then. That was the problem. Again, for my ranking, going from like bottom to low, Black Widow,
Mhm.
and I'm just talking about movies right now, not the
Mhm.
series. Black Widow,
Mhm.
Eternals, though I really did like Eternals.
I did too.
Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness, and No Way Home is still top for me. But again, I did like Multiverse of Madness though.
I'm with you on that, but I would swap out Eternals for the other one because I liked Eternals because it was new. I did my homework on it, and I hope they'll continue it. Now they claim at the end, and they will. So if they do, then I feel like it'll come up a little bit more of a notch for me. So I'm good with the bottom one, only because it was Black Widow had the piss poor writing, the piss poor acting. Yes, on the timestamp how they should have put it in, but I think they was doing it just for a Hollywood basis to get the like with Hawkeye, because Hawkeye was around that Christmas time. So yeah, I know we're talking about movies, but throw Hawkeye in that the bottom of the barrel too. He's at the bottom. I think he comes.
I didn't mind Hawkeye though. I mean,
I felt like he was dragged out, bro. I felt he was dragged out.
I didn't feel the drag though. Like, again, like, I understand where some people could come from with that series, but like the few things that did keep it up for me were Kate Kane, she was really good in it. Clint, moving on with the whole thing. Echo was really good as well. Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin was great. Again, the Tracksuit Mafia, they were hilarious. I did enjoy them. Not loved, but I really enjoyed them.
I think what got me on the raising the eyebrow was the sidekick, because I think her acting kind of threw me off. Like, Clint was still Clint either way. He didn't stray away. All the other actors, even the jumpsuit. No, she was just like that. She was like that ditzy girl that was trying. It was like I felt like she was trying too hard. I think better editing should have been there just to make her look good.
You mean too hard to be ditzy?
That part too. Fair.
Well, I mean, I could definitely see that as well. Again, like, this was really just her origin, and again, she's sharing the the scene with Clint. When originally, when we got Kate Bishop, she did her own thing because Clint was dead at the time, and then he came back, and we saw the dynamic between the two. Like, she already had enough time being by herself and then being with the Young Avengers before we saw her with Clint. So yeah, I could definitely see that, being a difference there. So it's a similar thing as well, again, with America Chavez. Like, she was on her own doing her own thing, but but in this movie she's with Doctor Strange. Again, it's just a matter of they'll get to the points that we know them at being their best of, but right now they're just a lot more younger and a lot more inexperienced, even if they do have the skills to take on some colossal titans.
Wait a minute. I just got some of those full circle. Iron Man, his weapons killed Wanda and Quicksilver's parents, right? Through his weapons, his missiles in Avengers 2. Remember that part? You remember that part? Yeah. So I guess remember real quick, a little history. The reason why Wanda and Quicksilver hated the Avengers, specifically Iron Man, was because of what he hated, his war, because his whatever, his history with weapons. Now later you finally realize the full circle of it when Bucky deletes Iron Man's parents. It was just weird. That's something that I caught on. But back then,
he's the same thing. Like, not trying to throw, I'm not going to say my name, but when people start, and that's a perfect example, when people was certain, like you just listed too, when certain people come back and tell these stories, and it's like the same common denominator, you know what I'm saying? Is the same common denominator to these certain negative entities or negative forces. Stay the F away from them. But if it happens, let's try to fix it the best way we can. So I that's a good one. But it comes back to the same.
It's tough though because Iron Man, it was to help, I guess, the country and its military at the time.
He was about the weapons and money, bro. He was about the banking in the beginning.
Right. Wait, which I'm not condoning, but I'm just
saying. Even Iron Man 3, because remember Iron Man 3, because I just rewatched it. The first 5 minutes, he was going on a flashback saying that he created his own demons. And then now he had to actually delete the demons at the ending. But he knew at the end of the day, if all he had to do was just like we say at the time, all you have to do is just say hi, how you doing, or hey, have a good day. You don't have to like just F you or screw you. Because that's what he did. He shut him off. People that was actually going for positivity, trying to make the world a better place. But what he was doing, he was too full of himself, stick so far up his butthole, and he was treating people like crap. And now he dealt out that same demonic energy, and guess what? Yeah, he created monsters. So the same thing named it. So when he did, full circle. So you got to either you reap what you sow, or you got to recognize those type of demons that you before you even create. Like, look, let me be at least polite. Let me be nice. These guys coming at me with a different type of energy. Let me be respectful. Let me be humble. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I didn't want to keep you guys on. We're at the 2 hour and 11-minute mark on this one, but this is a good conversation we had, man. And also now I got a ton of like ideas about what I want to probably move forward with another topic. I'm talking maybe like legacy characters and stuff like that. But and I appreciate everybody in the chat. At least know some people probably dipped off there, but that show you guys support and everything. But I just want to give everybody just kind of like final thoughts before we end it. So Marcus, you want to go?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It's an awesome discussion. It was fun. It's always entertaining. It's always we can go down rabbit holes sometimes. We still stay on topic for the most part, and it's always cool to talk about shows, movies, etc. And specifically certain Marvel universe and stuff like that. So I appreciate you letting us up on the panel, man, and sharing our thoughts and opinions and perspectives. Shout out to the Great Pill Podcast, by the way, and Jedi Mike 7.
We're going, Great Pill.
Yeah, man, it's a good conversation. I'm actually glad I took the time out. I saw you on, so I was like, hey, let me, show respect and support, because you always do it for us and everything else. So I appreciate having this conversation, because it's cool to have the moments to geek out. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the ladies, they understand this. It's like, man, they got to find the fellas. So yeah, so it's good to have those little moments. You know what I'm saying? It's like I guess a splitting of the minds. You got the guys talk. That's one conversation. They ain't gonna understand the geek side. And you got the geek side. You got the gamer side.
Well, so, I mean, you got Brittany B and Bloomy Ebony was actually in the in the chat earlier. Like they were going on. They knew their stuff. But yeah.
Oh, for real, Brittany B?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should get them on on the panel next time we have these type of conversations.
All right, because I'm low key petty. I'll test them out now.
Brittany B, she kind of like I know she's relatively new to the whole thing, but Bloomy Ebony, no, she knew her stuff.
Okay.
No, but yeah, but
no thing.
Yeah, man, I smell petty kicking in. I suck it up like
right.
cocaine.
Right.
Okay.
I got you. But J King.
Also as well, these are the type of discussions that we need to have sometimes, even if it puts us into the late nights, we need to have these talks, to get our minds right, hear other opinions. And even if we don't agree with all opinions, just to hear other people's opinions when it comes to the type of stuff that we all enjoy watching or going through, and et cetera, et cetera. It's just good to have these type of things. That's why that's why I like coming on and doing this. That's why I like coming on and doing this, because it gives me the moment to just geek out, use the knowledge that I have grown for a very long time when it comes to these, comic book properties and all that, and just discuss with other like-minded people. It's just a really good thing.
Yeah. No. But yeah, man, I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in this discussion for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and also Moon Knight. I know I'm finishing out my finals right now, but after I get through that, be pushing out more content on this channel and moving into a different direction, even though we'll still be doing stuff like this though. But just stay tuned and be lookout for that. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. And let me know your thoughts about the film, even if you got catching this or pre-recording. But till next time, I'm Jedi Mike 7. Peace. We are out.
Peace.